Hello and welcome back, ladies and gents. We're getting right underway. This time heading over towards the East European qualifiers. Yesterday, looking at the West, as Hungary just survived in their opening day. They picked up a loss to kickstart things. Thankfully, they were able to then pick up a win off the back of it. But they were made to work for it. Czech Republic looked really good in that first series. Hungary then had to go all the way to third map to defeat Belgium as they continue through the lower bracket. But we've already got a couple of teams locked into spots over from the West Europe side of things. Czech Republic, Germany, Portugal, and Kosovo all guaranteed their spots now. And it basically comes down to seeding for the rest of that tournament. And then off the back of that, we've got to find 3 more teams around them, which is 2 teams with the lower bracket and 1 team as part of that 7th place decider. But we are focusing our attention over towards East Europe today. There's 5 spots available, similar format with the 4 groups into a upper lower bracket type of thing, but this time rather than it being 7 spots, it's 5 spots on the line, which means a couple less teams will be making it towards the land. But Anders, I'm looking forward to it.
I am too. I feel like the level of competition has been pretty good in Europe so far, whether it's East or West. I just think it's been fun to see. This Turkish team is really exciting, and the Serbians, I think, no less so. This could be a really banging game that we've got ahead of us. I look forward to the best of 3, of course. So we're going to get deep into the action. Do you have a strong sense right off the bat who might be good to take this?
I would probably say Turkey. Honestly, this Turkish side look incredible. I do like Serbia as a team, and I think because 4 out of 5 of them play under Partizan, they're an org. They've been together for a while. This is a lineup that have been together for a hot minute as well, and all guys who have sort of played together for a long time. Emmy and Collins in particular have been around. Emmy in particular has been around for ages, but the rest of the team, well, a lot of experience there. So the Serbian team are pretty sick, but I think just Turkey's name value is so scary. You got 2 players who are playing for Eternal Fire, who are one of the most fun tier 1 teams to watch at the moment, and arguably one of the most fun prospects in terms of a youngster right now, and that of Wakadia. He is just an animal. And then, of course, 2 guys out of Sangal, one of the best teams in tier 2, if not the best right now, and then M-Star comes into round of that lineup. So it's a really good Turkish side. I would be very surprised the way I look at this team, the way we caught them in the groups. I would be very surprised if they lost. Period. I would be super surprised if they lost at all. Looking through the rest of this qualifier, the other teams that maybe to keep an eye on is Bulgaria. We actually didn't catch them, but that lineup is pretty sick. A couple of names that many people should know, and all 5 of them are under the organization 500. And one in particular, or 2 in particular, people if even more of a casual viewer should know, which is Cirque. Of course, was around for a long time at the tier 1 level as Norpa, and Rainwaker. Of course, he had that stint in Liquid for a little bit. Didn't work out for him, but that Bulgarian lineup is pretty sick. I think for me, the top 2 is between Bulgaria and Turkey, in all fairness. But I'm not going to sleep on Serbia just yet. And of course, Israel looked pretty good as well, and we caught them at their highs. So who knows? It's a competitive qualifier here, I think is the main thing we're trying to say.
Yeah, I've got to be honest, like a couple of the members of the Turkish squad really convinced me that they're going to be a strong team. Obviously, Ricardia we know is going to be good. But I think Xfloud and maybe especially Jota was playing really well. So that was a little bit of an eye-opening experience for me. Haven't had a chance to see Sangal play, so I don't really necessarily keep up with what they're doing on a day-to-day basis. But they were good representatives of the organization and of Turkey as a whole. It's pretty cool. I think that's really encouraging. So I wouldn't be surprised if they're going to be strong again today here.
Yes, exactly. Let's take a look at the lineups, and we'll start with Turkey. We've already kind of touched on these guys a little bit, and there's just so much to discuss when you look at Turkey. This is the 5 on your screens. We've got Exile, Jota, Emo, M-Star, and Wakadia, and there's a lot to love. A couple of names that I'll throw out there for maybe people who don't know too much about what's going on with these 2 teams. Wakadia is probably the biggest name in the server, and an incredible young talent on the rifler, plays within the pack. On CT side, plays a lot of the support and kind of rotate roles. Pretty tough positions for a youngster, but he looks very solid in them. Emo, incredible when he has an AWP in his hands. He was hitting some ridiculous shots in the groups. Definitely a guy to keep out there just because they play at this tier 1 level. They're very good. When I look towards the rest of the team, though, Jota has to be the name I throw out there. Dedicated entry, a real hardcore rifler who, if he plays to kind of his level, can hit hard. And I think for me, the priority has to be for the Serbian side to actually shut him down, because he's going to be the one they actually look towards to try and open up rounds on that C side. On the CT side, he's going to be getting really proactive as well. So Jota, he's super fun to watch when he plays at the level he can. He's only young as well, in all fairness to Jota. He's only 21 years of age, so he's probably got a very bright kind of future ahead of him. And if Eternal Fire ever have somebody drop out from that lineup, he's probably one of the first names on the list. He played in the academy team before he joined Sangal. So,
there we go.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, hopefully he can get some guidance early on about, how to become like a, a complete player in a sense too. Like that's important. It's great to be mechanically strong, but obviously playing at a high level is a different thing. So, fingers crossed that he's got some backup in that sense. Over on the Serbian side, Dragon, Collins, Kindo, Vladen, and Emmy is playing. Yeah, we should be again a strong lineup. We saw some of these players running absolutely wild with it.
Yes, exactly. Dragon, Emmy, Collins, and Kindo all play under Partizan relatively recently, in all fairness, but this is a lineup with at least intentions going forward. They've been around in Tier 2 for a while. Partizan have had a variety of different rosters, but the majority of these players have all at some point played within kind of the upper echelons of sort of this Tier 2 level, whether it's under iNation or Project G or For Glory or something of the sort. They've all been in and around the top level. I mean, even Emmy went abroad for a little bit as well, playing, I can't remember off the top of my head, I think it was Tai Lu. Yeah, it was Tai Lu he actually played. It was him and Roger, potentially, I think, played with Tai Lu. That was a bit of a weird one. It was a bit of a rogue one, but I know he went over towards China and was playing there for a little bit. So yeah, all these guys have been around for a while. I mean, in particular, Emmy has been around since before CSGO. I mean, he was playing back in 1.6 and Source and stuff for iNation. So he's been around for a hot minute. Pretty experienced guy, no two ways about it. Will be the IGL in this team as well, and he'll probably do a lot of the entry roles as well, because that's kind of generally what he's always done. The rest of the team is pretty cool. Kindo's the name I'm going to throw out. I think he's a pretty cool rifler, a bit of a new blood coming through from Serbia, and somebody that I've been really impressed with. Yeah, I think he looks really, really solid. So if he plays to his level, Kindo and also Dragon as well, both of them, they're very solid.
Yeah, they got some good prospects in there, and I think just overall like a solid, well-rounded team. They played really like reasonable Counter-Strike last time around. You can sort of see it in their decision making. Still think that it might be tough against the Turkish side, but I mean, they've got a chance here in a best of 3. I definitely think they could be the Serbian squad walking away with it. But if I had to make a guess, I would say Turkey is going to be winning this one.
Yeah, I think I probably have to join you there. I do like the Serbian side a lot, but I just think Turkey, they're just too strong. This lineup is unbelievable. So I have a lot of faith in Turkey to be able to, like I said, I think probably even go throughout this entire qualifier flawless. That's just how good they are. We will also have simultaneous games happening. We have Israel playing off against Team Croatia. That's going to be happening at the same time. We've got Belarus playing off against Romania. And then the Bulgarian lineup, of course, which is 500, are playing off against Poland, if I'm right in saying, at the same time. So that should, again, be another pretty cool one. No, sorry, not Poland, Ukraine, sorry, which is Team Chrono. We kind of touched them with Ukraine for a little bit. They did get battered a little bit by Israel. But yeah, Ukraine are going to be taking on Bulgaria, which adds a tough opening game for Ukraine. That 500 lineup are pretty scary, but I'll keep you up to date as we go through the day of how those games are going. They're all starting at the same time, 4 best of 3s, but in a similar sort of vibe. Even just winning your first game here in the upper bracket can help massively with your qualification chances, which is the big thing.
Yeah. You wanna leave nothing to chance. Just get in there, win whatever you can at the start of it, and keep the confidence of running high, which I think both these teams should be doing pretty well. It was weird yesterday watching Hungary play, like a team that we know should be better. Obviously, even if they won at the end, it's just it was kind of a weird experience. So I expect that both the Turkish and Serbian lineup here are going to be coming into this game with full confidence and feeling really good about the match that's coming up. The battleground is going to be kind of interesting to see where we end up playing. Lots of ways to go with it, but I hope we get to see Nuke again. That was just great fun.
Yeah, it was actually a really fun one. Another map in which Turkey at least are happy to play. The only team that seems to be happy to play is at Vertigo. So we might see a little bit more of it into this one. They were crisp when we caught them the other day. So that might be a map that we get coming through. Let's take a look at the veto. Enough discussion. Let's see what the facts are coming in towards this one. No, never mind. Insta-ban of Vertigo coming through, and Turkey banned Nuke in that second wave. So you hate to see it, but we get the huggiest map pool going right now, in my opinion, which is Ancient, Anubis, and Mirage, that decider. Ancient and Anubis were adored in the best of ones. Everybody was comfortable and happy to play them. And I don't think it's too much of a surprise to see either of them or both in this instance as well. And of course, Mirage, that decider, if we do even need it, is a really good map for actually both of these two sides. But in particular, I think it leans quite nicely to the individuals over towards Turkey.
Yeah, you're right. Like these are the 3 maps that most people feel pretty pretty comfortable playing right now. So I guess there's no real surprise, but it should also mean that we could have a really nice match in our hands where we're going to get all 3 maps. We're going to get everyone tested here. I don't mind it. No real complaints and no real surprises either, to be honest, right? Like, I don't think many people thought that it was going to be necessarily Vertigo coming through. But, you know, we always look for it now. There's so much drama around it, so we might as well. But yeah, I'm pretty happy. You feeling okay with the maps?
Yeah, I am. I actually think they lean quite heavily in towards both of these two sides in terms of where their map pool is. For Serbia, these are all maps that they've been kind of trying to integrate in towards the pool under that core of Partizan. They're fundamentally quite simple. They are inherently quite puggy, which is always generally going to bring a quite exciting style of play. Even when we saw Turkey play briefly in the groups, they played on Vertigo when we saw them, but I mean, there's T-set rounds. They were getting started in the first kind of 10, 15 seconds. On the CT side, it was more of the same. They were happy to take fights, more than happy to back themselves, because mechanically, they know how good they are. And my expectations coming towards this series, it's going to be more of the same. And on maps like this as well, I feel like they once again could just lean into that and say, right, we're coming in towards this game on puggy maps. We know that mechanically we're so good. I mean, Wacadia's won FPL X amount of times. Xfloud and Jota always make runs in deep runs in FPL towards the upper echelons as well. So I look at this and just say, I feel like this is where Turkey are going to just back themselves in terms of the individuals. I don't know how much depth they're going to have as a team. I think because they're not a team, the structure and the cores might actually be a little bit loose, but in a way that actually might work for them.
Yes, I think it could. Like, I think for these kind of IESF tournaments, it is, I think it's important to adjust your minds a little bit. If you're coming from like a team structure, you have to be able to sometimes play like a little bit of a different game, because sometimes chaos is just going to rule the day. And it's better to just, you know, to make some quick calls and out-of-spawn calls, stuff like that. I think we've seen some of the teams so far that have tried to play, like, I think maybe that's what happened to the Hungarian squad yesterday, to be honest, that they tried to play, like, very teams, like, strategic Counter-Strike, and it was very, very, very slow, and I just didn't really feel like they ever got going. So, yeah, sometimes just throw caution to the wind and try and play some crazy Counter-Strike, and that can work out pretty well on all things considered. So, yeah, maybe go that way. Obviously, again, big shout out to you guys in the chat for coming to hang out with us. It's always a good time having you. Yeah, so if you have any questions or anything, we'll try and see if we can get that answered along the way too.
Yeah, excited to see everybody in. This yeah, should be a good day of Counter-Strike action. Like I said, there's plenty of games going on. There is probably, I think I'm right in saying, stuff happening over on the other side. I'll just check now, see if West Europe has games happening, and actually no, they don't. They actually have a little bit of a day off as well, but there's some cool games potentially coming up there. Like we said, already 4 teams qualified, and then there's now 4 more teams in the lower bracket. And I think off the top of my head, I'm looking at this correctly, if you win your lower bracket round 2 game, which is Hungary versus Slovakia or Norway versus Latvia, I think you then potentially even book your spot in towards the next stage, which is that's pretty cool. Yeah, you actually do. And then the loser of those games goes into a 7th-place decider, so should be pretty interesting. Here in East, it's a little bit different. We have 2 less spots, so you have to go a little bit deeper through the qualifier to get your spot booked in. But getting a win here in the upper bracket, absolutely needed. If you get towards the upper bracket final, for example, if you're one of those 2 teams, you're already guaranteed in towards the World Esports Championships, which is pretty cool. So you're not far away. You've done enough in the groups. Best of ones can be a little bit uncomfortable for teams as well. You know, it can be a little bit random at times, probably the way I'll put it. Sometimes the upsets can come through and all the rest. For the most part, it didn't seem like we had too much upsets. I'm looking across the board, and it was kind of all the favorites making it through. In all fairness, teams that kind of should be here are here from East Europe, and same thing kind of happening towards West as well. But just, 2 less spots in this one means it's a little bit more competitive, especially getting towards the tail end. But I mean, even like I said, get a win here, and you're so close to that championship spot already.
Well, that's the dream. We've got still quite a long season ahead of us. Obviously, for so far we've been covering the North African qualifier. We're covering pretty much all over Asia, right? And we're gonna have 2 different lands for that. We've got Morocco coming up with Casablanca. We've got Chengdu in China. So we've got some local regional qualifiers that are going to be going into the main event at the end of the year in Riyadh. So just, like we're gathering everybody in the whole world basically together. And there's an entire women's tournament happening parallel to the whole thing. So yeah, it's become a really, really big project, this IESF tournament. And, you know, just building it year for year, getting a little bit better all the time. I feel like the level of competition, the sort of names that we recognize that are coming into it just keep improving. So it's been a really fun project to follow so far, and we'll keep doing it. That's kind of, I think, part of the benefit of doing this kind of thing is that it does kind of just improve the overall infrastructure of esports in all these countries, and that's important.
Exactly. We have teams locked in for those qualifiers for the African Championship. Morocco, Mauritius, Namibia, South Africa, Tunisia, Algeria, Egypt, and Ghana are locked in for that one, which is some cool countries and maybe some new names as well to learn from. And then over for the Asian Championships, we have Team China, of course, as the host nation, and then we have Palestine, Lebanon, Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, India, Pakistan, Malaysia, Mongolia, and Australia. So again, some pretty cool names there, and some pretty decent teams that are making a little look. I mean, Kazakhstan looked very solid when we casted them. They were pretty clean. Mongolia looks pretty good as well, and Australia might be another one to keep an eye on. So there's some decent names, some cool teams to keep some eyes on. And of course, for both of those, they are going to be on land. They are in Asia Championships in Chengdu, China, and the African Championship in Casablanca, Morocco. Two pretty cool cities from what we know, but we'll have to see, I guess, when we get there. But we are live. We are kickstarting today's action here in the East European qualifiers. We've got Ancient. It's the map pick of Serbia, and we have to see how they can face off against Team Turkey, because Anders, they're pretty scary.
Yes, they are. We'll see if they live up to the hype here today, because we are going to head right into it. Going to be Turkey starting on the CT side. Serbia will be starting on the T side. And a little bit of a lean to begin with over towards the B side of the map. Just trying to see if they can set up a little bit of an attack. They run into a player early on. It's Emo who's going to take a quick kill, but it will be returned. Kindo drops 2. It's Xflow to follow up next, and he'll and a couple of headshots himself. M-Star inside of the B bomb site will shut it down. And Dragon, if they would have got in there and got the bomb planted, imagine what a sick flank this would have been. But I think he's already been heard. Xflow ready for it. He'll take him down. So nice start here for our FPL superstar.
Yeah, really, really nicely done. Coming in towards the fight, I mean, Xflow looks super crisp, and even going to be Emo's first shot was pretty nice as well. Couldn't replicate it with a second, but job done on the site itself as M-Star and Xflow do combine and just lock it out. Make sure there's no inroads there at all, which does mean that for Serbia, no bomb plant, but they are still going to force buy regardless. This they can only bring to the table is Tech 9s. Is it good enough? Is it risky? Most definitely. Well, we'll see. I always don't like the force buys when you lose, even if it is on that C side, despite bringing Tech 9s, which can be quite scary. In this instance, I've got the opening 3.
Oh, well, a little bit of a return here. Collins, second kill for the round of him, and Jota kind of in a non-playable position. I don't know what he's meant to do in this one. 1 versus 4. Bomb already planted. I don't know. I mean, it kind of feels bad to save an MP9 and some grenades, but unfortunately, he might be the better choice at this point in time. I don't think there's much left that he could fight for.
I think you're right. And in this instance, I think what goes wrong for Turkey is actually because they're coming against a force buy, they try and fight. They try and fight early, you know, close range, trying to pug. That's not what you actually should be doing in this situation. You should be taking a step back, because if they force buy or if they haven't, regardless, Turkey, you should have the advantage at range and you should be trying to utilize it. But instead, they're trying to get up in their face. I know they've got MP9s, which generally makes you want to try and fight up close, but the best thing they could have done is actually played at range, and they don't. So, a costly one, it has to be said, and it will mean that Serbia convert a very important round, which will force sort of Turkey into a force buy of their own, right? They now have to kind of come in towards this and try and bring something to the table. It's not going to be the greatest, and we already see a Nova picked up, which is pretty wild.
Do love a good Nova shotgun, if I'm going to be honest, but it's rare that... All right, did they sell it again? Oh, that sucks. I feel cheated. I feel absolutely baited out. Now I want to see the Nova shotgun. It never works. I feel like people buy it and it just never does anything, but this was one of those times. Jota is going to go down, and it will be a 4 versus 5 in this round. Deagles are abound on the Turkish side, but don't know if they are going to be able to land any shots yet. They've done some good damage onto Emmy, but apart from that, there's not much to really report home about. Serbia look like they are well on the way to winning this round already. And again, they're playing like a good combination of forceful counter-strike, but they're not just, you know, sacrificing themselves into a bomb site. They are playing a little bit carefully here. Outside, it's Collins with 2 good kills. An assist for the 3rd one even there on Wicardia, and it's going to be xFloud on his own, way across the map.
All alone. Not a lot to do. Not really a lot to offer us here. You kind of hate to see it. This one's, again, one of those non-starters. Bomb will go down. That's the round. Do you keep on to the deagle? I think you probably do. It's better than nothing, is my mindset here. But yeah, bomb goes down. Utah behind it. This one is seen off. They try and get a little kind of aggro. They try and get up in their face again. Not to be xFloud seen off by the AK in towards elbow. And the round done and dusted. Okay.
Straightforward.
1 star. This is pretty good for Serbia.
Oh, definitely is. T-side. You might lose the start of it, but you bounce back almost immediately. And even now, Turkey, what have they got? 1 single flashbang there. M-Star going to probably try and set up his teammates a little bit to see if they can catch some people with the USPs. But the way that Serbia's been playing so far, I think it's kind of doubtful they're just going to rush onto a bomb site. If they do, they're probably going to send the Mac 10 in first. So I think in general, it's going to be potentially another quite tricky round to try and do anything with. But I admire the fact that they tried to buy the 1 flashbang. Again, been saying it for more than a decade now, but it's a $200 investment, and sometimes it can just give you a lot. So it's probably always worth going for.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Okay, creeping the way through cave. Nothing spotted in this first bit of a fight. I mean, they've got smokes down, so Turkey can't really do too much. They might just go in for a pop play if they can. Flash over, and it just does absolutely nothing. What a hold from Serbia. That was quite literally flawless.
Yeah, that'll get the job done. 3-1. Wow, these are some fairly quick rounds to begin with.
Yeah.
Kindle making quick work of it. Well, we're leading in round number 5 already. We do not have the AW picked up on Emo. I think that's... I mean, obviously, it's not by choice. They just don't have the money for it, but it sucks because he's been very, very good with it so far. We'll see if Jota and xFloud can live up to some of the height here. Wicardia yet to get a kill in this game, but it has been a rough start, so I don't think I'm not going to too panic yet. xFloud going into the smoke to hide. This is such a dangerous game, but they did walk right past him, so hold on. There might be a way that he could come back out and actually get a couple of kills here. Still thinking about it on the other side. It's going to be Wicardia showing up for his first couple of kills in the round, and that actually might win them the round.
Okay. Double come through in quick succession, and I think now with only 2 left, surely no chance. And yeah, now definitely not. What do you do here? Go to Mac 10, and you'll be gifted a kill, which might even be an upgrade as well towards the M4, but he opts against it. Wicadia's body, he's going to try and fight, but coming through doors, xFloud sees off only the 1 casualty. That isn't bad, in all fairness. Turkey, they needed to respond well, and they do. And the main thing that we now look towards them is actually what they're going to look like in the gun rounds. Granted, the force buy into round number 2, where you lost was the Tech 9s. That was a bad one to lose, but we haven't seen them buy since. The first indication that we get where they get rifles out, it looks super clean. So is this maybe a sign of things to come? It is the proposition I'm looking at here. For Serbia, no issues buying back in. Kinder's also got his AWP as well.
I think they're a hot team to play against Turkey for this very reason. You see the way that Wicardia was throwing his weight around in the middle. There could be a lot more of that. Like, he's just very confident. Oh, but there might be a tactical mistake here coming up from the Turkish side. If they're not careful about that B ramp, they're throwing grenades way deeper down. A lot of damage. And actually somehow catch him. Was that the Molotov that got it? It's Collins with a double kill. Emmy gets one as well. I can't believe what just happened. It looked like Turkey kind of had it on lockdown, and then suddenly there's just death everywhere. And Serbia come out way on top. That so much going on. I think one of those 2 players tried to run away and backtrack through the fire in towards that Jaguar cave. I don't know what happened. That's crazy.
Yes, that is, yeah, you kind of hate to see it. Very quickly just falls apart. And Jota gets a nice one, in all fairness, but it's all about survival for him now. Do they hunt is actually something they have to consider. I don't think it's worth it for Serbia. They're left down to 2. they don't have super stable econ in the long term. I mean, they'll have money going regardless, and they are going to go for the hunt at the end. So there's nothing saved for Turkey, but they, similar thing, can kind of buy back into it if they want to. 3 out of 5 got plenty of money. It's just really Emo that would struggle. A good round. It looked like, yeah, like you said, that Turkey had done enough, and then they just lose 2 fights in quick succession, and it all falls apart rapidly. Turkey mechanically looked pretty good, but maybe, like we said, the system isn't quite there for them as they are playing a little bit more of a puggier, looser style of play.
Yeah, although I think, man, I wonder if you replay that round 3 more times, if, like, they don't at least win some of them. Kindo taking on X-Cloud, and that was just a bit of a mission, playing at the edge of the smoke that was popping in the middle, I think, and making that work. Might have even been a blind shot for all we know, but either way, it's worked out. I don't know. I enjoyed this style from Turkey, even if it's backfired in that previous round. I'm like, yeah, but still, it's a lot more entertaining to watch, and it's still kind of early on. I think you can justify keeping it up a little while longer. If it keeps backfiring, obviously, playing aggressive against this kind of a freeze that Serbia are calling now, that's when you can get into a lot of trouble. If you keep pushing now, they're not moving at all, they actually want you to push forward. That's probably going to backfire quite a bit, but in the beginning of the rounds, I mean, I don't really mind it. The downside is you end up using a lot of grenades early on the CT side when you do that kind of play, and, when Serbia freezes like this, you have nothing left to throw, and they know it, right? They're obviously going to call it out. They're going to say, wait a minute, no grenades have been thrown in the last 30 seconds. They probably don't have any more grenades, otherwise there would have been a smoke or a Molotov or something going on. So, yeah, it makes the game a little bit easier for Serbia. They're playing tactically smart in that sense. And it's M-Star to get traded right away. And honestly, you might want to save these 2 couple of rifles here, although I say that as they will walk out with a kill here. Good follow-up. Jota just playing it so well. If he had a headshot on Kindo, he would have had a really quick triple. I can't believe they get back into the round in this fashion.
That's going to change it, isn't it? Collins will collect 1. 2 versus 2. Time taken, though, fellas. We've got to make a move. 15. That's a nice find. He spotted the other. He can't win out the fight. He gives it a good shot. He tags Emor as well, but is not to be. The AWP scooped up as well. These rounds are close. They're competitive. And there is a game on our hands here. 4-3. I'm actually pleasantly surprised with both of them as well. Both sides are looking crisp. We kind of saw this a little bit yesterday. We're hungry. It felt like it took them a while to get in towards the game, and maybe by the time they did, especially into certain maps as well, it was sort of too little too late. This is not the case. From the rip, we're getting the top level, which in both these sides, I think they understand how important A, this qualifier is, and B, this game too. Staying alive in the upper bracket absolutely helps your chances and your percentages of making it to the World Esports Championships.
Yeah, this is quite something. Jota really bringing him back into it. That was an important double kill to pick up. It almost looked like the rest of the Turkish squad there were a little bit scared to fight on either side. Like, they were a little bit further back. It was a good job on Emo to win it, but that's kind of the difference. You could see Jota was really making space for his team and pushing that out and getting that double kill. But, yeah, still, they win the round. Last bit of cash thrown into it really here on all sides. Like, nobody in the server has any real money in the bank, and it's going to be a straight-up B-rush. So I like this. A change of pace coming up from the Serbian side. See if they can find the opening that they're looking for. Certainly can, but Wicardia is right there on the other side. Good double kill with the M4A1. And he does get to live, and he's very low on health. One good grenade here is going to get rid of him rather quickly, but there is that bomb plant coming from it. It's Vladin to take down X-Cloud. That was just the spam through, and now it's a 3 versus 3, and Emor is a little bit further away.
Nate finds one by Wicardia. He's out of this one. Jota gonna get caught as well, and I think this one feels impossible now. Yeah, Emor is out of there. He's been spotted too. That's gonna make his life considerably more difficult, and I'm surprised he even chooses to fight on the way out. I would have ran. Guess what? Gets traded. Serbia back to a 2-round lead. Back and forth, back and forth. But it's still Serbia who keep the lead. And on the T side of Ancient, no less, which is the more important thing for me. This is a map in which, while the T side got easier, it still is seen as CT-sided. So the fact that we're seeing Serbia put up quite a comprehensive T side so far, where these rounds are gluing together quite nicely. You can see the synergies there of this side. It's impressive. This is exactly the sort of game that we wanted to see. And Turkey, the Puggers, the FBL Stars, struggling to keep up with that team composition so far for Serbia.
Yeah, I think that's that's kind of part of the lesson here. Serbia might have even come into this game with a bit of a plan like that. You have the odd round that you throw in there, like this B rush. That's obviously something you do off the back of playing multiple rounds that are way slower, where you're way more measured. So having that little bit of a back and forth, I think, is nice. But yeah, it's hard if you have a bunch of young, mechanically gifted players on the Turkish side that really just want to get into these fights and kind of like just go for it. And then they have to slow down. You have to try and hold them back a little bit and say, don't run forward, guys. They're waiting for you to do just that. Nicely done here, but they can't escape, unfortunately. Kindo's there. Otherwise, that would have been a really fun start to the round.
All right, Collins finds one, and the spam is so close. Yeah, he picks up the AK and he'll do it. Already guaranteeing at the bare minimum a tied game. This isn't bad. This is pretty good so far. I'm enjoying what I'm seeing. I mean, we are really seeing the best of as well of Serbia, where any more they get on this T side is actually very solid. If you can get up towards the likes of 7 rounds at a bare minimum, which is very doable the way they've been playing,
yes,
you guys have such great foundations. I think, yeah, Turkey may sooner rather than later need a pause as well, just have a conversation, maybe in towards the next gun round.
Yeah, I think that's fair. It's starting to look a bit uncomfortable here. 6-3. Again, these rounds are fairly quick in spite of Serbia taking a couple of breaks in the middle of the rounds, but all right, they are losing a bit of control here. Pushing on forward. There's a crossfire waiting for them, and absolutely no chance for survival there. Emmy with a nice little double kill, 5 versus 3. Don't expect much in a round like this. Obviously, they just had the pistol, so I don't mind that they try and go for something. You should. But the real question is, what can they do when they get the rifles back? Because they need to start winning some rounds, kind of right now.
Okay. At the Eagle, we'll get one. It's not going to make too big of a difference here. Vlad doesn't see him off. 7-3. 4-round lead. Enjoying what I'm saying. Yeah, I wouldn't mind a pause out from Turkey. Just to have a little breather. Have a little conversation. Understand that this is kind of quite rapidly feeling like it's slipping away. This obviously is the map pick of Serbia, but they need to be careful. I mean, you get battered in towards map number 1. That sort of mindset and mentality might, leak on over in towards Anubis. That's the one thing I look at. So, will they be able to kind of turn things around? I don't know, but we need to see a much more comprehensive look in towards this CT side. That's a much better start. Little fortunate, though. Missed shots from Dragon, a rare one.
Collins gonna pick up a kill. Taking down Macardia. Still close here. M-Stun, that's not bad, 2 kills with the MP9. Point blank range will slow them down a little bit. Emo crossing his fingers that doesn't spread into the corner. Doesn't look like it will, so he's going to be able to stay alive. But he can't really stop the bomb. That's going to get planted on the other side. Another Molotov still not really bouncing his way, and as a result, he's going to get the kill. Jota to take down Kindo, and nice recovery in this round here for the Turks, which I think at this point they definitely need the last 2 rounds here.
Yes.
Going to be a good buy in the next round for Serbia anyway, but I mean, 7-4, 7-5 is kind of doable. You can still do something.
No, I agree. I feel 4 is feasible, 5 is good. That's kind of how I look at it. I think with 4 rounds, you actually need a pistol round to give this a little look in. If you don't, if you lose the pistol, you can kind of potentially even be like 10-4 down if you lose the force by 2. So for Turkey, if you get up towards 5, only a 2-round game, you win the pistol, the game is more or less tied up, depending on the force and the rest. So that's how I look at it. And for Turkey, final round of the half and a good opportunity to do so. 4, it's fine. It's workable. I think for them, just for the ease of mind, they would like to get up towards that 5th and give them the best chance. Get another good pistol, and then who knows what can happen. On the T side as well, just with the nature and the style of play for Turkey, it might actually lead into their favor a little bit. They're aggressive. They're kind of quite individualistically based compared to the team over towards Serbia. Maybe that's where they find their strength. Either way, speaking of an opening double for Serbia, they want to get the 8th hit, and now.
Yeah, it's time, isn't it? Spray could have been good there for X-Floud, but they just lived through it. And now they're kind of locked out of everything. It's 1 versus 5. Emo trying to jump through and be the hero. It's not going to happen. Collins will find another kill. He ends the half at 13. What a great display for Collins. Don't remember him being the star last time we saw Serbia play, but he certainly played very well at the beginning of this half. So they will be up with an 8-4 lead going into the second half. This is a great foundation for Serbia to take this first map on.
Yeah, agreed. Agreed. Honestly, this has been so far so good. There's a lot to like. With an 8th on the board now, it does actually make this pistol so important for Turkey. For my eyes, if they want any sort of chance in this map, they've got to take it. If you don't, there's a real potential you could be 10-4 down, more or less. And at that point, we could already start to say maybe even the potential beginning of the end. Bit of a stack out via B. Bomber's going A. Vlad's got a molly. I love that. He's just going to slow it down and buy so much time for the rotation.
Molotov not really going to put Emi out of this position. X-Cloud's going to get the shot, though. The Glocks are getting closer. Oh, it's a really bad fight here for the CT side. M-Star will get a kill, and Jota will get the last one of the round to pick it up. So, yeah, they kind of all the CTs got grouped up behind that box, which may be fine if they're just all fighting with USPs at range. But obviously, when the Glocks are this close, you could see 3 of them inside of this. It's absolute chaos.
Yeah, honestly, I generally feel like that round is lost because Serbia just missed their fights. That fight, the 2 guys that come out from Donut, they probably should both be dead. One of them's full blind, the other one's basically not even there in time, and it absolutely should have been done there and then, but it wasn't. So Turkey, they win the pistol. That's what we asked of them. If you're going to go 8-4 down, you have to win the pistol, but then you also have to win the force too. You know how I feel about CT side forces, but for Serbia, they won the T side force, so I kind of can't blame them for forcing in here. They've done it once before. Why can't they do it again?
Yeah, that's very true. Give it a shot. Something that is unfortunate is the fact that they have the scout, and it doesn't look like that scout's going to be getting any early tags.
Yeah.
Which means it's not going to slow down that T side all that much. In fact, now that scout's going to be definitely dead here. Nothing you can do about that. Yeah, just running on through. So much space created with the Mac 10 to begin with. Again, just the speed behind this round for the T side was pretty overpowering, but that's what you get, I guess. The Turks, they just keep playing the same, and I admire it. More speed, more passion, keep it going. Yeah,
there is a lot to like. Pretty solid, pretty easy in terms of how things are playing right now, and up to a 6th, a force by loss like that as well, it can have a relatively decent knock-on effect. At least, Emi should have gone to work with the ops to pick it up. He's going to go with a no, I think, at least for now. Yeah, finally, he will get it. I don't think he's going to survive, though. He's dropped the smoke one side, he's looking the other. Attention drawn. Like a bit of a human flashbang. Force by failed for Serbia. 8-6. Now it is doable. This is why with 4 rounds, if you get a pistol and a force, game's on. Because also as well now, Serbia's econ's broken, so Turkey kind of get gifted the 7th as well. That's a 1-round game. This is absolutely game on.
I feel like being a human flashbang is going to be better than being a human decoy. If you
I agree.
The gritty comparison thing, at least be the flashbang. Well, 6-8, round number 15. Serbia unable to field much of anything here. They can't really do anything about it. So gonna have to try with a flash in the middle. For Cardia, he was playing specifically the anti-flash position, and he's gonna be fine.
Opening 3, nice and simple. Oh, it's a dance one man. He's Kindo. He's got a Zeus. That's a little bit too far range, mate. And it doesn't even matter anyway. Emor will see him off from behind. Flawless for Turkey. That's all they could have asked. That's all they could have wanted in that one-round game. This is on now. Gun round could have come through, and we have to put so much focus on towards Serbia in terms of how they responded towards this one. The good thing, have a full buy, M4's Orb, Util, all of the trimmings you could want. They just have to make a stick. If they don't, if they lose to what is inherently a bonus buyout from Turkey, they've got so much money left in the reserves that they have to win this. And for Serbia, they don't only have to win it, but they have to win it cleanly too. If you take 3 or more casualties but win, you're still taking such a big hit to your econ with a buy next round so tough as well. This one's important. Oh, attempt, shot, doesn't connect. Bounding out from mid. It's Arcadia for the first.
awkward grenade there, kind of blows himself up, but still, they have the start that they were looking for. And the real question is if they can keep it going. Yes, they certainly can. Emmy's going to be dropping next. Wakardia looking to see if he can keep it going. It's xCloud this time in the middle, taking down Collins, but if he bomb site's just lost. I mean, this round is already washed away at the hands of xCloud and Wakardia, just opening up everything in the round. Yeah, what a great way to get started here.
And it's that thing I was saying about, right? Not only have Turkey won it, but they've won it by taking 3 casualties, and they might even get more at the end here too. This is going to have a pretty substantial knock-on effect towards Serbia. Their kind of mental state's probably not too good right now. There's a lot of pressure on their shoulders. Vladin will deliver. Will he stay alive is the question we're asking. He's doing pretty well. Might get a third. No, he won't. So all down to 1. It's an AWP. He's got a few kills, but these kills mean absolutely nothing. Turkey losing life like that at the end is just not. There was so much money. I mean, 9K more or less across the board that who cares if you die? You can buy back in. But it's Serbia. They lose everything, right? Lose a round, lose all the guns, no AWP, no rifles, nothing to work with in this one. So Turkey, from 8-4 down, are probably about to take a 9-8 lead due to the fact that Serbia just basically can't go into a bye here.
And a slightly interesting detail kind of right at the tail end of that round, you see they actually could have picked up the AWP that they took away, but they didn't. And that kind of suggests, no, they want to play this really fast and dynamic style. They're not looking to slow, wheel Emo into any fights and see if they can build something behind it. Like, it's a lot more fast-paced than that. I really respect it. I think, and again, like, it's so much more fun to watch. So I think we're lucky that it's gone this way. Keep it up, and they should be continuously in a good position to put some real pressure on that Serbian side. Game is tied, and what do they got? 1 M4. They kind of... Why did they buy the 1 M4? Is it the Hero M4 and an MP9? I'm so confused. Like, why? And the rest have kind of say, like, half bought. Weird scenario here with the money. But I guess just, trying to stay creative with it. See, if it works out, obviously, we'll take it all back, and it's just going to be great.
Mm-hmm. It's true. It is. Yeah, very, very true. MP9, M4, fuel grenade pistols is not the worst buy. It's still one of those ones that you do have to just keep an eye out for, especially if they're stacking a site like this. Arcadia holding for rotations, but nothing actually gifted just yet. 5-7 up close is always scary. Kindo not only gets the kill, but gets an AK as an upgrade too. Just a little cherry on top in that situation. Him to work with, and he works with it well as he gets one through the smoke.
Yes, Dragon's gone down 3 versus 4 here. That's the bomb leading in front here for M-Star. If he dies, he could roll forward into an awkward position, but he stuck around and got into the kill, made it 3 versus 3. They got 45 seconds, so I don't know. You could maybe spend 10 seconds waiting, but at some point you're gonna have to make up your mind and go for it. They've got a smoke, so there is a chance for a bomb plant. He's actually throwing the bomb behind him now, which again is probably really, really smart. They are checking everywhere. They're checking in the middle. Oh, but Emmy got into a great little, very tight angle to pick up that kill. And maybe the round behind it, because again, these two last players on the Turkish side, they're really far apart. They can't help each other out. It's going to be down to each individual member if they can get it. There's one headshot still. They're not out of the woods yet. It's going to be 10 seconds here, trying to plant inside, and he will be found.
Wow. Serbia steal away around on a nothing. Those are the rounds you have to be quite scary of. I think if you're the side with that lesser buy, you just approach it a little bit differently. And in this instance, it works. First found, Kindo gets a little fortunate with the smoke, but you take them all the same. And I just think Turkey aren't playing off each other well enough. They're just not giving themselves time to trade. They're giving opportunities back over towards Serbia and those guns. So well played for Serbia. They're still alive. They're still in this competition. Their first round, finally, on the CT side after quite a few played. Still right back into a bye for Turkey, no questions about it. Flash over, Emor wants to fight, but full blind. Kindo just shoots on instinct.
That's pretty sick. I feel like normally that flash works to, not necessarily get the kill on the T side, but just to remove the CT AWPer, and then he has to throw a flashbang to get the position back, and there could be a lot of back and forth like that. You're trying to flash each other off that corner, but yeah. Not Kindo, he's just sticking around. By the way, he's got 17 kills, so overtaken even Collins at this point in time, which is pretty good. xCloud's going to get that headshot, no problem. And as a result, we're in a 4 versus 4.
Dragon holding. And he'll get it. He'll take that at the very least. But then again, where now do we go from? Jota making a move out. He's alone here for the most part on this first engagement. He might actually get some timing, but no. Dragon just veers his head back over towards that right-hand side as they push out of main. The bomb will still go down, but a 2v4, this is a tough one. He's got to get 2 fights here for free, Wakadia. If anyone's going to do it, though, it would be him, but he only goes 1 for 1. Surely this is just too tall an order for M-Star.
Yeah, I mean, there was a chance, I think, for Wakadia to do it, but nicely done from Collins. Good headshot from M-Star. Still 2 more to go. He's got a little bit of health here. They obviously will have the kid somewhere. It's M-Star getting a headshot, and he picks up Dragon as well. What a 1 versus 3 to clutch the round and pick it up for Turkey. That is massive.
I spoke too soon. I said, surely just a little bit too tall in order. And he pulls off a miraculous 1v3 to once again keep Turkey in this and to just kind of shatter the hopes of Serbia. I mean, yeah, they can buy, but that is such a brutal one to be losing. Turkey, they'll reinvest in, no issues. Serbia, for the most part, same for them, but basically kind of bar Vlad and Kindo. So they do have to have a little conversation, actually, Serbia, about how they buy around this, what sort of buy they go for. I would say full buy here, right? The way I go about it. They've had attack pause, they've had a conversation, but I'm all for the full buy here. You can get an AWP out, which is the main thing, over towards Kindo. You can get rifles, and basically a couple of people might have to pick up an SMG as a small little thing. They actually don't go for the AWP. They're going to go for 3 rifles, 2 SMGs, but they prioritize the big investment in towards util, which I can get behind. I think this buy is absolutely feasible. They've done it on 5.7, so why can't they do it on MP9s? But this could be a big one. This is a pretty important swing round for me.
Yes.
Whoever wins this takes probably a couple of rounds rather than just the one.
Yeah, it could very well come down to this on the map here. Good little spray. Wakadia is going to be taking on Collins, who was completely caught off guard. And pushing forward, taking some very forward control. He's not scared at all. If anyone wants to fight him from inside of that B-bomb site, he's trying to be ready. Now, this is dangerous, though. There's a player inside of the smoke, and you could tell Emo was not even close to aware of that. So that's a little bit unfortunate. Would have been fun if he could have applied some pressure, Emo, to help Wakadia out, because are they going to go check it here? It's been very quiet. They might think he's just fallen back. Oh, they jump around. That's very smart. Kindo, second kill of the round for him, and that's going to put them in a bit of a lead, but it looks like there will be a bomb plant.
That's true. We'll take that at the very least. Dragon does get caught in rotation. Molotov comes down. Just a bit of information is spotted. I want to fight behind it. Jota, that's a little risky, but and he doesn't bind Goff properly. 1 for 1 here is good. 2 for 1's brilliant. They're going to try and swing together. He's waiting for said swing, but he can only line up 1. Thankfully, quick trade, and Kinder's all that's left, and they did spot him earlier. It's all a timing play. The bomb's planted open as well. This should be fine. 1 in towards Temple. A second coming to join as well. Kindo, not going to type, he's going to stick. Oh, he does get off it for a second, and that'll cost him his life. If he's stuck, he actually probably, for my eyes, probably has the better chance. But it's Turkey who take it, and an important one to take at that. Now, if you're Serbia, you can maybe once again tempt forcing back in because of your loss bonus. Kindo can reinvest in. They can potentially make it work. I don't know if you want to take the risk, though, because you're then stuck in this kind of harsh cycle of constantly force buying.
Yeah, this is, again, another really, really tough loss for Serbia, right? They had the 4-on-3. They just weren't at the A-bomb site, and Turkey got into great after-plant positions. Okay, that's he got blocked by a teammate. He's gonna smoke off his own Molotov and just push on through like nothing happened. It's fair. We'll all pretend like we didn't see it either. It's gonna be Vladen to go down. It's Jota with a MAC-10. There's no head armor on anyone, so that MAC-10 is a super great weapon to play around with in this one. Wakadia's gonna be going down, unfortunately. Push now towards the B-bomb site. Emor looking to lock it down, and he might have had a chance, but he just hesitated, and it bought time for Collins to show up and help out his teammate. So suddenly it's 3 versus 3.
Okay. Force buy was audacious, but it might actually be potentially the right call. Still not a huge amount on offer as it all goes quiet. There's still plenty of time, a minute to work with. So I can kind of understand why they're pumping the brakes with a grouping via B. It's the right call, but there is 2 players here to meet them, one of which being that AK, which does worry me a tad.
Yeah, for good reason. Under 40 seconds. They're trying to make their way up. That play coming through from X-Floud here might just make the difference. He's applying a lot of pressure. He's going to get traded right away, but they know exactly where that submachine gun is in the corner. Emmy's feeling the pressure right now. His teammate's got no grenades, but he does have the AK and will be able to spray down M-Star. How did that land? It's now just down to Jota, and he's trying to reload, playing Ring Around the Rosie. He's going to get found by Collins. Having a great round. Triple for him. I don't know that Emmy did so. He got 1 kill, but he got so much in this round. He baited. Remember, Collins' first kill was it Emo? I think trying to find Emmy in the corner.
Sure.
And even now, at the end of the round, he stayed there the whole time, and nobody could dig him out of that corner.
It's tough. It is. Came back on 10-0. Can't complain about the level they're playing at, the competition we are getting here. What a game. What a game we're being gifted with. And again, on the other side now, it's Turkey who have the hard decision. They've just lost to a bit of a force themselves and kind of have to replicate with a similarly kind of awkward bye, including a MAC-10, including a Galil. It's not the worst, but it still can be quite difficult to see these over the line. 10-0. And the fight for 13 still on. And the way things are playing out right now, we could even see more rounds needed. X-Cloud for that first. As Dragon gets caught. Dragon's been having a tough time in these opening engagements, in all fairness to him. Plays a lot of these high-impact roles, and so far, sort of struggling in them.
Yeah, Collins' potential for a 6 spray down. He'll get 2 of them. That's not bad. We'll leave 1 player at the center. Put some pressure on Emmy here. Does he try and defend the bomb site? He's going to try and take the fight with Emo, but gets dropped almost instantly. So that's going to clear up the site here. They obviously know that he's been playing this position a lot, so they can guess there's probably nobody else at the bomb site. And actually, Serbia going to call for a save right away. That's interesting. So it'll be Turkey to take a 1-round lead.
Yeah, that is, interesting off the rip. But I guess retaking with an AWP is so difficult too. That's the thing that I look at. I mean, it's never an easy thing.
Yeah, that is true.
Call it. And yeah, now we once again look the other side and say, for Turkey, how much can they build upon this? I think if you're Serbia, you're 100% you're buying around the M4 and the AWP. You've got both of them with belts of util to work with. You've already converted kind of force buy and sort of half-ish buys before. And because you can get drops coming through, you're definitely buying back into this, no questions. It's maybe more a point of now of how do we change things up. That time didn't work. We lost our opening engagement. We lost mid-control. And before we knew it, it was sort of considered and completed before things even really got started. It was a good fight to me, more. 11-10. 2 rounds away, Turkey. Only 1 round ahead. The buy back in, but you win out this one, Turkey. You sure do a real big hit on towards the econ and have that map point on your opponent's map pick too. It's close. They are so close as well to breaking the spine of Serbia too.
There they are. The lack of money, the real cause for concern here. Oh, missed opportunity. Kendo, it's the kind of shot that he's been hitting pretty much all game. His scoreline definitely proves it. 20 kills so far, so still, bomb is going to get planted. It's right at the crossfire here, but no one's able to catch him. He'll get the bomb planted. Huge success for him personally. And now they're getting some kills to follow up. It's a bit of a disaster here, 5 versus 3, but Dragon trying to get in, shot in the back with the MAC-10. And all of a sudden, this round is lost again. I don't think there's any point in throwing away the rifles at this point here. And they might have a really hard time saving him, hunting him down. It's going to be M-Star to pick it up. They use every single rifle now, and now they're also 2 rounds behind.
Yikes, that's gotta hurt. That really has to hurt. And I think at this point now we can maybe even start to, it might actually be the beginning of the end, because you're 12-10. Yeah, you buy it back in, but Turkey, they seem to have figured out a plan about how they're playing around this. It is a little bit looser, and it is just working off the back of trades, but that's always their sort of anecdote that we kind of have. Trades benefit the T sides. It's as simple as when you barrel in towards a site, you know there's not going to be all 5 there, so you know that you can just play off the back of each other. X-Rod in towards mid, gets mollied late, and the flash doesn't really affect him either. Once again, Turkey's able to make control, but ramp control for a double. That's huge from Collins.
He couldn't see anything at the start of that fight, but I wonder if he flashed himself. He's like tossed the flashbang into the air, but then kept peeking and kind of won it anyway, so that's wild. 5 versus 3. All right. Serbia not giving up without a fight here. They're not just going to roll over like that. X-Floud looking to move forward in the middle. Kindo. I think smartly ducking into the corner. Wow, he's close to getting himself killed there. A little bit of a grenade out. He's low on health, but it doesn't matter. He's got the backup for it. And that should really be the round here, right? Jota and Wakadia, 2 versus 5.
Yeah, I can't see a way. Surely this one should be done. Collins sees off Jota. Wakadia is all that is left. They can buy Turkey into the next round, but they'd like to have an AK at the very least. Nice shot from Wakadia on the swing by. I mean, hey, I've seen crazier 1v5s converted. The first is good. A smoke to try and get himself out, but actually, I think hinders him more. How has he played around that smoke and won that fight? And he barely takes any damage too, but just time is so far ticked.
Yeah, I think that's the big thing that's making this impossible. Unfortunately, it's fun to see. Wakadia, again, just the confidence is definitely there to make these rounds a lot more interesting. Out the middle, and it will be Dragon to take him down, so... Okay, this has been a fantastic first map of Counter-Strike. Like, both teams playing very confidently. Yeah, it's still a wide-open game in some sense, but obviously we're going down to it here. It's either overtime, or it's going to be Turkey just slipping away at the end.
Yeah, that is true. This is down to the wire. We get the full rounds at the bare minimum, which is, again, something that we do want to see. These two sides showcasing just how good they can be. And you look at Turkey in terms of their investment, it's not a pretty one. I mean, probably expecting a maybe a little bit of a quicker round. So, double AK, double Tech 9. Emsa's probably going to go for a similar buy. Maybe a Galil if he's really feeling it. Galil half armor or Mac 10 armor, a bit of util. Might even go for the Tech 9 if he wants the full belt of util. They're going to have a conversation regardless. He will opt for that Mac 10. He has just one smoke to work with off the back of that head armor too. It's tough. This is... Yeah, it's an awkward kind of spot that they're in right now. Where Turkey, in their best opportunity that they've had, they weren't able to kind of do all too much of it. And now we've got them in a tough old spot. Serbia, much better buy. It might have to be a real quick round for Turkey, which might not work for them. Emor drops a smoke. They hesitate for a second. They're trying to break it open. In the open, though, X-Cloud somehow wins the first two.
Wow.
Oh, no. How is this the way they're going to win?
Just a rush to the A bomb site. Nobody can stop them. Collins and Emmy. I don't know. You obviously are not saving because it is the final round of regulation. So you have to try and dream up a way to get this 2 versus 5 on the go. And then Collins going to get shot down. Barely even fired a shot. Then it's X-Cloud with 3 kills. And it's a 1 versus 4 instead here. 1 versus 5, sorry. Emmy just... at a distance, doesn't even really look like he's trying to go for the round. Just sort of saying, let me get a couple of kills in here, but this is over and done with. He's going to get shut down, and it will be Turkey to pick up the first map in a great fashion. What a fantastic map to start with.
Yeah, what a game. What a game we got gifted to there. Really, really exciting stuff. I mean, credit to Turkey for actually turning that around. Right at the end, the AK of XR gets super active for that opening double. And they see it off. And I think Serbia, they'll be kicking themselves. They had plenty of chances to close that out. But,
yes,
you know, they were 8-4 up, I think is the main thing we have to look at. 8-4 up, and they just couldn't get those final 5 rounds on the board. And that's the damning thing for me. Only getting 4 in towards that second half in the CT, it's not good enough. They really couldn't find a way to get active. And it's also why it's one of those things I highlighted. While 4 rounds for Turkey doesn't seem like a lot, this Turkish side are always going to be scary on their T side. That's just how they play. This loose in terms of their play style. It's very much based off the individuals. Can they get active? Can they get a bit of mileage on this T side? Can they hit a crisp headshot? And we know for damn well Turkey can. And that's exactly what happened. So, yeah, credit to them. And this is now where this series has opened up a little bit in a favorable way towards Turkey, because that was Serbia's map pick. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. We're heading in towards map number 2 in just a second. So Anubis coming up next. It's Turkey's pick, and it might be enough for the 2-0. We'll see after the break. we are ready to get going. We were just checking in, looking at some of the other scores. And I want to update you, Anders, on kind of what we've had, because one of them in particular is surprising me. Croatia have taken map number 1 off Israel. Now, I thought Israel were going to be a bit of a lock-in to make it through, but Croatia looking pretty good there. 13-10, they've just finished their first map. Romania have beaten Belarus in their opening game 13-4. Bit of a stomp. Romania, of course, we caught in with them. Zelo looked crisp as hell. I think he dropped like 28 kills when we were casting them. He looked good. And Ukraine have beaten the Bulgarian map number 1, which again feels like a bit of an upset to me. That Bulgarian side looks sick on paper. So credit to them. We've got some good games in the cards. Of course, we've had maybe a little bit of an upset in the sense of the series itself, where Serbia have lost their own map pick. Turkey stole it away at the end there. Right at the end, 13-11. That was a sick game, though.
Couldn't have been any closer, really. Yeah, back and forth all the time. Everyone played with like a lot of heart. It was fun. It was a really fun game to watch, honestly. I love the way, I think in terms of like all the teams, all the countries so far in IESF, I've got to say, I think the Turkish squad is the one that I find the most enjoyable to watch. Like, it's just a really crazy Counter-Strike. Super confident, and you know, the results kind of speak for themselves. Hopefully they can do it again. We are obviously going into a map number 2. It's not done yet here, the best of 3. But yeah, they're a really, really fun squad. But I mean, on the other side, Collins, I think individually had a really great individual showing, and Kindo was out there too. So, you know, Kindo, I think last time was also playing well when we watched Serbia. Sure. Collins, I thought was a little bit maybe less less visible in the game, but this time definitely not. So that's kind of cool to see.
Yeah, Collins looked pretty clean. Pushing down ramp on that CT side with the rifle looking very good. Kindo with the AWP. I mean, if you can have an AWPer who steps up in that level for Kindo, he can really help Serbia out. But now they kind of really need him and Collins and Emmy and the rest all going to find their point, because they're a map down. We're heading in towards map number 2, and it's Turkey's pick is I think the damning thing for me. That was good, in the way in which Turkey played it, I actually think could even be a little bit more damning heading in towards the second map. It's a puggy map. Tanuba's coming up, right? It's, you know, such a puggy map inherently. I'm looking now. Serbia have decided to start T side, which I think is actually the perfect decision. You don't want to give Turkey that start on the T side. I think that's the big risk for me. Yes. This is the only map which can be seen as T-sided, and we know how good that T-side was from Turkey. They limited Serbia to only 4 rounds in the entirety of their CT side. So yes, Serbia needs to start well on the T side. A pistol round is a necessity, but they need to get, I would probably say, at least 7 in this first half for them to be in for a chance.
Yeah, I think that's very reasonable. We've seen a couple of teams already kind of fall victim on this map and just struggle to play that second half on the CT side. So we'll see. We'll give it up. I mean, I think both teams just look really, really cool. I thought for a while there that Serbia had kind of figured it out when they were being like very careful about not getting overwhelmed by the aggression coming out from the likes of Wikidia and xCloud, who were playing quite aggressively. But at the end of the day, they still couldn't really stand up to it. Like, it was just it was too much, too wild. So yeah, great game, really interesting. And we kind of said we thought Turkey might have been the stronger team, but honestly, it was, yeah, as close as you like. Could have just as well been overtime, or, you know, a little bit more cash on the Serbian side. They maybe win the game instead. So who knows?
Yes, who knows? Yeah, exactly that. And, you know, maybe a couple of decisions where maybe they didn't need to force as much out of Serbia. Towards the tail end, I think they got into the point where they, you know, had a force back come through. They get 4 out of 5 kills, who wouldn't win the round. And in their mind, they're thinking, okay, we can force back in, maybe a little bit better of a force this time, and try it again. And it would get so close but so far. I think a couple of those were actually kind of costly coming over. But hey, all in all, a good game. Turkey were able to bail themselves out of maybe at one point a bit of a tough situation. And now when I look towards Anubis, I have pretty high hopes for them. I do wonder, though, what the response is going to look like from Serbia. They were close. They had their moments. Their individuals look good as well. They know that they can actually, in a way, sort of afford to pug this. They can kind of fight fire with fire because it worked at the start. So why not kind of continue this sort of mindset? I just worry that there is a world in which it could actually get a little bit too scrappy, and that's where fundamentally they might fall flat, because it's a loose style from Turkey and because it's not as structured as Serbia are. I think the structure is one of the big benefits that Serbia do have for them. We should be heading underway in a couple of minutes in towards the game. All right. Should be a good one. I'm looking forward to it.
Yes, I mean you're right, and you know, like on some maps, going that aggressive style can be tricky. But I mean, honestly, Ancient, even then it could really backfire. Right, a lot of choke points on Ancient, and didn't really seem to bother the Turks that much. So maybe they just you know, they're in the zone at the moment. Yeah, like I said, I noticed that that xCloud was ranked really highly over on the FPL ranking stuff or at HLTV. So like that obviously also means that he is like playing a lot, right? Like that has to be the case.
He's grinding.
And I think Wicardi is ranked like 3 or something. So it's like it's pretty wild. It just means that they are they're grinding Counter-Strike right now. And in the off season of all things. So they are they're looking red hot at the moment. And it kind of shows. They're coming into this and they look like it's just you know, a fun time running through the map. So I'm really excited for it. We didn't get to catch too much of Emo AWPing this time. It could have just been the map. They didn't seem to like it that much on the T side anyway. But that was really fun. Like when we saw him on Vertigo when they picked that map, it was wild. Like he's actually unbelievably fast. I hope that's going to be a feature now because I kind of want to see that a little bit more. And Kindo was doing really well on the Serbian side with his AWP, so maybe there could be some balance there to have those two, you know, battle it out with the snipers.
Yeah, and I was checking. Emo now has been apparently to the last time he played an official for a tournament. He's been on the bench, I think, over a year now. It's been a while, but the last time he played an official was the 25th of May 2023. It's the last time we saw Emo play an official for a center five. He's been on the bench for a long time.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And he's still, looking absolutely crisp. I do wonder whether, I'm not 100% sure with Remo, whether maybe he doesn't speak English, for example, or doesn't speak English well enough to run an international team. But I always thought, talent-wise, I always thought he's pretty solid, at least a decent AWPer when he played at his best. But I think the issue of Emo that we kind of saw when he was under a ton of fire was his peaks were pretty high and his troughs were pretty low is I think the thing. And I think that lack of consistency can be a little bit uncomfortable and can be tough. So I'm glad to see him back in the server basically, and it'd be cool to see him on LAN if they are to get there, and they're pretty close. I think I was on a look through the bracket as well. I think I'm right in saying if you can get 2 wins, different to the West Qual where the West Qual is just 1 win. If you can get 2 wins in the upper bracket, you guarantee your spot. So I think it's basically then ends up being whoever makes it to the upper bracket final, guaranteed to make it through to the World Esports Championship. So whoever makes it to the lower bracket semi-final, also guaranteed to. And then, of course, there's that 5th place decider. So basically, top 2 coming out from the upper bracket, the remaining 2 in the kind of the lower bracket, and then, of course, that 5th place decider matchup for that final spot. So it's one extra game, but yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. Enough to handle certainly both these teams as well. I think they are just changing up the server, so maybe some of them ran into a little bit of trouble with the lag or whatever in the meantime. So we'll give them a chance to do that and just kind of get on a server that's fair for everybody. That's important, and we'll hopefully get into the game right away. But yeah, sometimes you do want to find a little bit of a good battleground. Okay, Serbia and Turkey should be geographically kind of doable. Doesn't seem like it should be hard, but you never know with server infrastructure. Like sometimes it's still a server in Germany somewhere that becomes like the best compromise. So kind of hard to tell at times, but definitely I'm gonna stick with my prediction for Turkey winning this one. I could even see this being a 2-0. I honestly could. Like they just look like they're so on fire right now.
Yes, I'm with you. I think, especially off the back of that tail end where the T side looks so good out from Turkey, my indication of where I'm looking at this and just saying I honestly don't see any world in which things slow down. I feel like Turkey can come in towards this, take that same sort of onus where it's so aggressive, a little bit loose. They will be in that CT side, but at the same time, the CT side can play so puggy on this map if you want to. You can take fights in via mid, and that's the expectation. You take fights in towards lower water, pushing through a main, and the rest. So it looks like we've got a new server. Players are just joining back in, and then we can get things back underway.
Yeah, get them in there, throw them in there. Yeah, I mean, so far I feel like overall for the European side of the qualification stage here, there's been pretty few tech issues, which is also remarkable to me. Do 10 players. I just always assume that someone's going to screw something up. Although I guess some of these players do play a lot of online Counter-Strikes. They're used to like the rigmarole of showing up on time and getting logged in and everything. I think it's been pretty smooth. But I appreciate that. It does make our jobs a lot easier. So not bad at all. Yeah, we're getting closer.
Exactly. However, rather than us rambling here for a little bit, while we get all the players back in the server, we are going to throw this one to a break. So sit tight, and we'll hopefully be back on the way map number 2 in just a moment.
Well. We had a little bit of a break. They were trying to find a server that everyone can agree on. So, yeah, once they're done with that, we should be getting into the game. Hopefully, it won't be too long. But apparently, it's turned into a real political issue. Looking for the best possible German server they can find. So, we'll give them a little space to do that. We say we want like a fair battleground between these two teams, but that's the cause of the delay. And word around the campfire is that they're not far off of solving the problem. So.
Yeah, exactly. They're in the process of getting the right server. We're trying to find it. I think it's just kind of, the second you join one server, one side's got higher ping than the other, and it's like, well, this isn't fair. So they join another one, and then it flips, and the other side's got higher ping than the other. It's a little bit cursed, but hopefully we'll be getting in the way towards a second. Anubis is going to be our map number 2. Of course, this is the pick coming through of Turkey as well after taking Serbia's mapping of Ancient. So pretty important for them. Some of the other games have started while we've been waiting. I've been keeping tabs on those. So Croatia and Israel's on the way. Croatia on map number 1. They're currently 3-1 up in map number 2. So they look like they're on track. Romania won map number 1 against Belarus 13-4. And they're 11-3 up in map number 2. So they're getting a very quick series out the way there, it seems. And currently as well, Ukraine won 13-7, map number 1 in their series, and they are 3-4 down in that one. But it seems like all the players are ready, which is good. They're all in the server over in our game, so we should be getting underway, and we are finally.
Nice.
Counter-Strike action on your screens. It took a little minute, but nonetheless, here we are. Into map number 2. It's Turkey taking on Serbia. Turkey are 1 map away. And this is where we get to look at this and say, have Serbia got anything in the back pocket trying to bring them back in towards this game, or are Turkey going to take a swift 2-0?
Yeah, they better have something in the back pockets, otherwise it's going to be a really, really tough game here. Emo, good shot to begin with. It's shotted to pick up another kill on Collins, and the entire mid portion of this attack is already dead and gone. The bomb is... I'm not even sure where at the moment, but they will get kill in return. I was going to say, is that the middle here? They're on the bomb side. xCloud sneaks in, executes Dragon, and Kindo is in just a huge amount of trouble. That's some unbelievably casual kills coming through from xCloud. He's just walked into the bomb site, shooting people in the back and the side of the head, left and right. It's Vladin alone. 1 versus 4 with just a Glock. He's picked up the USP, looking to take the kill. He'll take down M-Star as well. So it's getting a bit more interesting, but still should be a very hard round to recover here as he's back in T-spawn.
Yeah, this is surely never really going to get off the ground here. He is back where he started and has still just as much information as he did right at the start of the round. This should be that first taken here for Turkey, unless they do something drastically wrong, but it's not going to be the case. xCloud see it off. First round on the board for Turkey. Good work for them. Kickstarting that CT side well. I said coming into it, a hot minute ago now when we were doing the pre-show, but the big thing for me was I looked at this and I said that for Serbia, I want to see them get at least 7 rounds on their T side. That's going to give them, enough to work up. Any less, and I think they're in trouble. And that's not the start that you want, is the way I'm going to put it. They have to get this T side underway and built up very healthily.
Even without the bomb plant, they actually go for the hero EK and a little bit more. So, yeah, I agree. Like, it's important, but giving this kind of force up here, you could end up in a scenario where you're actually putting yourself really far behind and almost kind of giving the Turkish side some of the rounds they need early on. Nicely done, though. Boost on over, and Wicardia gets blown up. Now, they know about the AK at the very least, but they're a man down.
Yeah, AK is a known quantity. That's good. It's more about, can they work around it? Emo, nice shots. Grouping up. An A-pop here. They'll realize sooner rather than later is actually going to be very good for them. They must have heard that gun being picked up, and they do. So Kinder will fall. A-side's open. They're barreling in. And they're going to be probably a little surprised when they realize nobody's here.
Yeah. Emo just now showing up. Pretty deep grenade, but still a 2 versus 3 here. And we'll see if they can find a way to power run through. Bomb planted. There is a kit on X-Cloud, so they should be able to group up here. A little flashbang on M-Star. Never a bad thing, but Collins, oh, he's made such quick work of it. His aim has just been on point for the series so far. And Jota has to go back there because he has to get the kit. If he wants to win the round, if nothing else, just find Collins, get the kit. It's not going to make any difference. Collins is hitting nothing but headshots in this round. He's been so on point.
That's ridiculous. And also, it's another T-side force buy again working. You know, they found one in towards Ancient. It was only Tech 9s in that instance, and it worked. And this time they've done it again here. This is where we are seeing Turkey lose just a little bit of that discipline. Yes. Gifting fights and these opportunities over towards Serbia, and Serbia are going to take them every day of the week. Turkey have to force by backing themselves. And, well, unfortunately, they can't really bring anything to the conversation, can they? It's just upgraded pistols. I'm not expecting heroics here.
No. Doubtful that they can do all that much, but
it's the bomb.
Maybe not. He's thinking about it. Oh, God, it's quick. The 5/7s are destroying them. It's Collins to go down. Nick, that was a deagle from X-Cloud, but still, what's happened? They did all the work in the previous round. This is supposed to be the time where they can just shine and have a great time of it. And now instead, in a lot of trouble. Dragon's going to be going down. It's all on Vladen. 1 versus 4. This round has collapsed on top of Serbia, and that's a big problem.
I cannot believe his 5/7's doing this. You sit together, you should be fine. Oh, they line up. 1v2. X-Cloud and Jota both only have pistols. This is doable. He's got to slip the net through the smoke. No one's here. 50 seconds. Bomb on his back. I think he might have just won this, honestly. This is a 1v2 where both are tagged and he's got space to plant.
Yeah, this is absolutely super doable. But obviously, one of the huge risks in a round like this one is going to be whether or not you just sort of happen to look the wrong way at the wrong time. They could be sneaking up on you. They've got some grenades on that CT side. I don't think they are going to make the big difference here. I think it's going to be down to whether or not you can just get the right position. They are getting kind of close right now. Smoke is up. Jota's jumping up. Oh, he's trying to find it. That's a very scary play, but he doesn't quite get the kill. Still a 1 versus 2. And with no kit, the clock is running down slowly but surely. Vladen trying to use that smoke as a bit of a wall, but the jumps are on the other side. It's X-Cloud sneaking in front of him. And now it's a 1 versus 1 here. Vladen, he's about a deagle bullet away from death, but they can't find that shot. A great save for Vladen. Alone against almost the entire Turkish lineup. He'll save it for Serbia.
Yeah, it's a bad collapse. I think we can, happily admit that. It started so well. It was a 2v4, then turned 1v4, and they won all their fights. Vladen, fair play. That one, a little bit fortunate, but they line up, but then they just play isolated here. And Jota couldn't make it work. Credit to Vladen. He's pulled off a 1v4. Yes, it's against primarily pistols, but it's one all the same. Which they'll take. That's a wild one. Turkey kicking themselves, I think, is probably the way I'll put it.
Yeah.
Not that they've lost that.
That's very interesting. But it's definitely not done yet. Some grenades being thrown in towards that outside of the A bomb site. On the CT side, they don't have a lot to work with here, so doubtful that we're going to be seeing too much action in this round. But Serbia, man, again, they absolutely needed this really, really good start, and they had to fight with everything they had to not just get it, but keep it intact. If not for Vladen, they could have had a really brutal beginning here, but they're slowing it down, not giving any rifles away in this one, and just eventually going to be congregating onto that B bomb site. Collins getting a shot there, throwing some grenades at each other, but who cares? Doesn't matter. They're going to clear up the round.
Yeah, bad couple of rounds, though, has to be said, to lose. In this one, not as much, but the 2 prior, and it's put them in a spot now where it's a 3-1 and a lot more pressure on this gun round coming through for Turkey. The main thing is they do have a gun round, but except for Serbia, I want to see them get up to at least 7. This is the start. This is where they feel that there's enough to work with here coming through. But, yeah, I mean, it's kind of crazy the way in which a couple of those went. Now, 1v4 still not really over for Turkey. That one's one that can kind of sit on the mental a little bit too. into the investment. Orb out for Emo. Rifles across the board as well, with the Belter, Utah, and the rest. Let's see what they can do here. Flash on the corner, the smoke in front. Wakadia getting active, and he looked the wrong way. He's just too aggressive there for Wakadia.
I don't think he was expecting that they would have run him down through that smoke. They actually ran through the smoke to catch him in the window. I kind of understand why that. It's wild that they did that as well with Cardia. Otherwise, I think that's actually a very, very good setup. But look at M-Star here, saving a couple of bullets for the last player to come through. A sickening triple kill for him. That was very well done. With that M4A1, it can be very hard sometimes to find that triple. You know, you end up reloading, or you just spend a little bit too few many bullets at the start, and you just don't have enough to get the final kill in there. Emo will trade it through, and it's Turkey to pick up this round. I've got to say, they still look very strong. No bomb plant, but there will be enough money on the Serbian side to still buy. But if they can't win this next one, it's, again, nightmare territory for the Serbian side.
Yeah, it is. At least it's in the gun round. That's the thing that I'm happy about for Turkey. Gun round that they had to take, they do. They go to a second, they make it a one-run game. Pressure's back on all of the rest. It's still a weird start, though, I have to say. It's still a kind of an awkward one to consider, I guess, right now, just because I really don't know what to expect. Now from either of these two sides, that was the first indication of a gun round. It was a weird one in general. Wakadia dies early, but then they respond so well off the back of it. Do Turkey try and rein it in? Well, the odds at least know in this one. Xlar gets caught.
Yeah, they love to be aggressive right now. I kind of don't want to take that away from them. It seems to be kind of the team identity. But we can all see what happens when some of that aggression backfires on you, and suddenly you're down a man. Everyone else has to work, you know, a little bit harder to make up for it. Wakadia is pushed out in front, exactly where Xlar died. So he's, I think, trying to play in between the smoke that the T's throw down, just to try and see if he could catch anyone, but they are well aware that he could be out there. So they're not getting too surprised at the moment. A minute on the clock. B bomb side is very weak at the moment, but it doesn't really look to us like that's where Serbia is going. It's Jotza to get killed next. And again, this is the game plan for a while on the first map of Ancient, where Serbia really called these freezes, you know, both in the start but also in the center of the rounds, just to make sure that they can catch some of the Turkish players, you know, going aggressive, and that's what they're doing, and it's working once again.
Emo holding for a jump up in towards heaven. I think basically the rifle has to be the one to do the initial damage, and they do. I mean, Wakadia is so low, but a kill is a kill all the same. Molotov are going to come down as well, and it does tickle the toes. That's going to be heard, but still not expected. And Vlad not traded. 1v2 with Wakadia low, AWP and a retake. They might just save it, and they're not even given that luxury. So it's just an AWP that's going to save.
Yeah. At least try to save it. He's so boxed in. There's no escaping this. A little bit of noise being made. A good kill, but yeah, he was always going to die then. Good triple of a dragon in this one. And yeah, that's a really, really important round. Again, just to remind you, Serbia would have been out of money in this one, and Turkey would have been able to catch up and maybe even take the lead, which, being on the CT side on Anubis, is a good start for them. But yeah, I would say it's still a very open game. At least Turkey are out of money, so for any Serbian fans out there, you should be able to look forward to a bit of an easier round here, where, yeah, it's a bit of a lead being built. Serbia relaxing. Should be the case.
Yeah, that's true. AWP of Kindo. Shot there. Does take a little bit of damage, but shouldn't be too worried about this. Nade does a fair decent chunk as well. This one, while the last pistol round, or the last kind of, I guess, sort of forced by, was pretty scary out from Turkey, this one's already not got off to a great start. They've lost one already. 3 of them are taking significant damage. I don't see this one getting off the ground. This should be Serbia 5-2, which is exactly how the T side should start. Ooh, it's a bit of fortune. A pre-fire, but a kill all the same from Wakadia. Xar going to find one more as well.
Come on. Surely it stops here. 3 versus 3. The bomb is awkwardly towards T-Spawn. Now, doesn't look like anyone's going to be facing Kindo, but just in case they had, that would have been the bomb lost in a tough position. 50 seconds. They're rotating back, and I wonder how much Vladin heard them run. If he heard them running all the way back, then That might explain why he's just kind of casually walking out here. Oh, xFloud just steps into the shot. We'll take him down. It's traded again, but I mean, for Turkey, this is pretty good. 2 versus 2 now. 30 seconds on the clock. The bomb's still stuck in T-spawn. For Kindo, imagine how horrifying it is having to retake this. We can see no one's there, but he doesn't know. He could be walking into someone at that range with just a grenade in hand. Ooh, a little bit of a lineup for him, and they can't finish off Emmy as well. Although it was a really, really strong round for the CT side, but Emmy will be there to save his team.
Yeah, he will. There was a couple of nice shots from Turkey, but I'm not going to read into it too highly. 5-2. Back into the investment, which is good. But for Turkey, needs to get a few in a row, in all fairness, on these gun rounds to make it worthwhile. At this scoreline right now, I'm still a little bit concerned that actually Serbia could run away with this T side. Maybe so much so that Turkey actually can't even compete. Even considering that we see Turkey as a strong T side team and a team that probably prefer the T side over the CT in general. But 5-2. Pop flash in towards water. Comes down. Emmy won't be the one to win out the fight. It's Vladimir for the first.
Yeah, good strong start here. Vladim's going to keep it going. Takes down Emo on top. So the B bomb side is kind of crumbling for the defense. Jota's in position. It's been a quiet game for him so far on the second map, and he's going to get traded almost immediately. Well worth it. Serbia look to be taking a 6th round for themselves as xFloud, who's been playing very well so far on the second map too, but it's just a lot to handle when he's alone like this. Could be looking for, you know, the 1 kill to start it off with. Okay. Well, he gets that one very quickly, taking no damage. So I guess in a way, you might want to try and go for it now. If there's a kit on the ground, maybe not. Smoke is up as well. I don't know if there was a kit on the bomb site, but looks like he's decided to just play for the exits.
Yeah. This is, tough. Exits is all that they really can opt for, and Serbia now up to a 6. They've guaranteed bare minimum a tie. The way they're playing right now, this is really good, and xFloud gets nothing at the end there. Maybe a discussion to be said as well of surely just keep all of the AK, just in the sense of you play exits, even in the best case scenario, you get both. Who cares, right? It has no effect towards Serbia at all. They just buy right back in. They still have money for an AWP. They still have money for all the AKs and the U-tools, so is it actually even worthwhile? I don't think so. I think they would have kind of rather had an AK in towards this next round here and maybe a few kind of upgraded pistols around it. But in the end, I feel like Turkey, the mindset isn't quite there for them in this map. They're playing too loose. It's not working. It's struggling. And this is already looking. It feels too early. It feels early to say, but it already is looking damning, like we could actually be seeing this go to a 3rd map already, because Turkey not showing anything right now. Yeah, I mean, they definitely had their moments of opportunity, and I guess there's still some time left where they can turn it around in this first half. But the problem is just the money, right? Every single time they wanna fight back. What can they do here? Is it like a MP9 on Bukaria here as it comes to Deagles? It's just tough for them to really do anything in return. So yeah, I don't know. One of the obvious things to try to do is to once they get the rifles, to play less aggressive, because they are playing into the strategy for Serbia. But the problem is, that's again, like I said, been kind of the spirit of the team. And if you take that away, maybe it just doesn't feel like Counter-Strike to them any longer. So I don't know if it's the best choice, but we can all see at the moment how Serbia are kind of setting up some of these early rounds, and it's been working for them. So more power to them in that sense. Vladin also, he had the insane save earlier, and combined with everything else, up to 14 kills. I think if he doesn't get that round, it's very, very different first half all of a sudden. That's fine. Next out of 4. This one already not got off to a great start. MP9 desperately hoping. He needed a headshot to make that round work, and it just doesn't work out for them. This run again. He's done here. The Deagle swings in, doesn't find anything, and the last remaining, you got 1 Deagle, 1 USPS. Make that just the USPS and half armor for Emo. Does get his kill. Could have been an AK, which, yeah, he will just about get out from that water position to survive. However, let's keep the gun up, shall we? He'll be tested once more, and he gets a tag, but it's not enough for the kill. Serbia 7. That's what I asked for. I said, get 7 rounds in the T side, and I think you've done That's kind of the bare minimum. Now they've hit that bare minimum. It's about working upon it. And for Serbia right now, I don't see anything changing. This is Turkey's map pick, and they're not offering up anything at the moment.
Yeah, I think 7 is a good position to land on at the moment here. Keep it going, more of the same. Don't slip up anytime soon, and we could be seeing a third map, which I believe is on Mirage if we get there. We got the AWP out on Emor. That could be a key to victory. If you're not going to be playing fast, then having Emor kind of rotating around the map and hitting some of those shots that we know he can hit, that's a good way to get some of these rounds started. I think if Turkey can get like even 4 rounds here, it's still a map that's worth playing for them. Less than 4, we're starting to enter the territory where it's just almost impossible here. But they got a little bit of space to play around with. 2 in the middle, 2 towards B, and they've left X-Floud alone over on the A side. And again, Serbia playing the same playbook. Slow it down, wait for the aggression. You know it's likely coming. And it was Kindo right through the smoke, taking down Wicardia, who I'm pretty sure was going to swing and spray that corner.
Yeah.
But he got caught.
It's true. It is true. Waiting with the AK. Hoping for a fight. But again, for Turkey, you lose this one. I honestly think this could spell the potential beginning of the end. 1-for-1 trades aren't bad. Serbia are more than happy to take it because they got the initial fight untraded. So they just keep the numbers in their favor, and it gets worse. The Molotov does actually miss, but it doesn't matter. 35 seconds for this bomb to go down. Plenty of time in a 2v4. I don't even think you want to give this a go. M-Star is met with a Molotov, and as expected, he's out.
Yeah, wow. Laden could get picked up at the end. Should make no difference here. Bomb is going to get planted. Very little time on the clock, but they have everything else under control, so it kind of doesn't even matter. Emor nearly catching Dragon off guard. Probably could have had that kill. Didn't look like they were quite ready for him to be that far up. But at the end of the day, it will be another round for Serbia. 8-2. And best Turkey can do right now is 4 rounds. They're not going to have a lot of money to work with either, but I honestly think at this point you just force up and try and get this job done. I think you need the 4 rounds.
Yes. Yeah, you do. You do. 5 rounds of the difference here, and honestly, I mean, 4 rounds was... If it got to that kind of a 7-5 conversation, I think it'd be fine, but... Sorry, not 6 rounds of difference, may I say. And honestly, with where we are now, I'm not seeing anything out of Turkey, which is going to give them any sort of luxury. They have to require a ridiculous T-side from me to pull this back in their favor. I feel like Serbia looks so clean on this map. This is definitely a map as part of their pool with the core of the side that are Partizan and Turkey, who have tried to pug this. It's not working. Maybe a little bit loose on Ancient, which works in their favor here on Anubis. It's not been the case. 5-7 is desperately trying to fight, and it does not work out. Easy double kill coming through from Emmy. And Kindo will find one of his own as well. This is just such a simple Counter-Strike. Yes, it's just pistols, but honestly, Serbia make these rounds look so easy. Again,
Super disciplined. They don't look stressed at all. That can happen sometimes otherwise. Like, you lose that first map in a, very, very close fashion. 13-11, you may think, oh, that's going to be very stressful. We're going to be upset about that, but it doesn't seem like that at all for Serbia. They are into the second map, well aware that right now they just look like the better team. 9-2. And I think we're really now looking back on the start of how this map started out. You can really see how much of a difference it made losing the early fight for those rounds. If Turkey would have won, they could have been up like 4-1, 5-2 or something like that right at the beginning of the map, and it would have been such a different affair for them. So, yeah, a lot was decided in those early, 4 or 5 rounds.
Oh. I already feel like for me this one's done. Regardless of if Turkey get a third at the end here, they get good damage early and a kill in all fairness on towards Emor, just to add even more misery to the side. I mean, Emmy's low, Kindo's tagged, but they've now got the numbers. And this is the thing that seems to be the consistent factor. Serbia opening kill, take the numbers, and then utilize it. A real scrappy fight in mid here. Collins trying to get one for free. Will he clear doors? He doesn't. So X-File gets one back.
Just one man down, but Emmy's very low on health, so it could kind of be done. Oh, they're all showing up. God dinked mid-air. Did he fall into the spray? I would love to see that from Evie's point of view. I have no idea how that's a shot. X-Cloud hiding in the smoke now as they are pretty much just showing up at the A-bomb side. They know that he's here somewhere, and all they have to do is wait. Or maybe they go back instead. Yeah, they've left Emmy to die, and they're going to go plant the bomb at the B-bomb side.
And this one is a tough retake, isn't it? I mean, obviously, you may as well give it a go. Found around and all the rest, but it's just so difficult for X-Cloud. He's got a kit as the one silver lining, but no util to play around it is the real awkward one. He has to just take heads up duels, and that's going to make his life so difficult here. What a setup as well. The crossfire's great to the one tap as well from Dragon to see it's off. Crisp as all hell. What a half. 10-2. And as I think we are very quickly going to be heading in towards this Mirage at this rate. One pistol round out from Serbia on the CT side, and it feels like it's basically game, set, and match. In all honesty, the tech pool's getting in towards the map. Might it be longer than the map itself?
Yeah, that's unfortunately true. We did have a hard time getting here, but X-Cloud played really well, right? 12 and 11. That's a 6 score line for being 8 rounds behind the opponent. But the rest of the team just never really showed on, right? Jota and Ricardi are probably the other two that are sort of the core of the team right now, and they didn't really do anything. Yeah, I don't think we can break it down even further. It's going to be down to Turkey having one of the sickest T sides that we've seen in a while here on Anubis. I think that can be done, but the problem is like it has to be flawless, right? You can't give even a single space here for Serbia to get onto the game. So we'll see. Win the pistol, that is the first step always.
Unless it goes 10-8, 10-9, I really don't see a world in which Turkey can take this up. It would be ridiculous. One of the most outlandish comebacks, just because it's not even the fact of the scoreline that they're at. It's just the way the rounds are played out for me. You know, even if this was like an 8-4, for example, but the same style of rounds where they just never feel like a competition, that's the biggest difference for me. It's the scoreline's one thing, but not a single moment in them were really close, maybe bar 1 or 2 opportunities like the one round loss. And it makes you think right at the start when they had a 1v4 and choked that one out, how different things could have been if they were able to win that. Either way, Vlad going to get caught by a flying Glock. They will take the site. Dragon, though, will get one of his own. And Emmy's still alive here. Doesn't want to overfight. Wants to group up.
Oh, they are set up. If you try and retake this, they're actually going to be going on them. That's very, very hard to break through if you're on the Serbian side here. Trying to come up the steps while they're just swinging from both sides of that little hallway. And it's a final kill for M-Star. So Turkey, 1 round down. Still need about 10 more to go here without dropping a single one. But still, that's not bad. That's a start.
Exactly. It's better than nothing. It's basically all we can actually fundamentally ask for. It needs to be the start of many, I think, is the main point we were driving home at halftime. I don't start to open that door to a conversation until we get towards the likes of a 10-8, 10-9 sort of scoreline. It's not up until that point will I really even entertain it. Serbia aren't going to force buy here. They've got so many rounds in arrears. They don't actually need to take a risk with a force buy. You may as well save, buy next. Even if that one fails, save, buy again. You get basically 3-4 buy and eco rounds out before Turkey are able to close that gap to tie the game up. You're going to go for a pop out here. The MAC-10 will get a good amount of cash and the AK for a double as well. So nice little kill bonus for the MAC-10 with 3 kills to your name. It's a real nice thing to have. No casualties too. However, back into the buy now. Serbia, they were so clean on their gun rounds in the T side. You'd expect more the same here in this one.
And I think, I mean, this is where hopefully a little bit of experience, which they have plenty of on the Serbian side, to be honest, should tell you we have such a long runway here. So, you know, like we can try a couple of different things out. We can have a couple of rounds where we're aggressive. We can try our standard default setup just to see if that works out. But in general, the panic shouldn't be setting in for quite a while here. But I guess once if Turkey get up, if it's like a 10-8 scoreline, then suddenly you start to feel like, okay, wait a minute. Now we're actually in a lot more trouble than we realize. Good combination, Molotov to burn Emmy out of the corner, and then the AWP there waiting for him. Collins, though, will win the battle against Wikadia, who's still had a bit of a tough beginning to this map here. He'll go down, but Jota will keep it going. 3 versus 4 now. Oh, and he's just inside of the smoke. That seems super scary. A lot of damage onto Dragon here, and he'll get out-battled. The MAC-10 will find him, and I think for the rest of Serbia, probably just save the guns here.
I don't think there's any point, really. Like you said, right, save the guns. There's no point giving this a go. Worst case, you go in towards the next round, you have 2 M4s, and maybe a couple of upgraded pistols around them. It can still be a semi-scary buy. Yeah, I was going to say, did M-Star spot that on the radar? I actually might have. I think just as he was turning around, he might have briefly caught the arm. Hence probably why he kind of adjusted himself and the rest. But yeah, it's a 10-5 scoreline. We're getting there bit by bit. There's a somewhat conversation open up. M-Star going to find one at the tail end now, so it's only 1 rifle to work with. I'm not really expecting a buy around this. This should be a pretty simple one, all things considered. He is being hunted, but he will just escape being kind of choked in here. 5 rounds of difference. Still a long old road to recovery, but it's better than nothing. This is exactly what we want to see. Where they're putting consistent rounds on the board. They're opening that door bit by bit to a conversation. And we are looking at this now and saying for Serbia, they need to be a little bit careful. Don't do anything too audacious in terms of your economic decisions. We've got a little bit of a buy, double MP9, but it's not an overinvestment. With loss bonus, they can still buy rifles next round, so it's fine. With 1 rifle, 2 MP9s, 2 upgraded pistols, it's not actually the worst in the world.
We got here. What an absolute crazy person. It just decides. It's like he just, I don't know, was electrified in a moment. Like he was about to throw a grenade or something. He was like, wait a minute. He's like, why am I throwing grenades? I can just push. Like, what am I doing? I can just push and kill people. It's like he reminded himself, oh, that's right. I'm actually super sick of this game. That's so funny. Right. Anyway, it's going to be round number 6 here for Turkey. And again, wouldn't necessarily be, I don't think Serbia are too stressed out yet. But I'm curious to see if they are going to try and maybe flex up the defense a little bit, right? Because if you have some funny plans here, then maybe now it's time to go for it. You know, double pushes out of the B-bomb side, or some kind of setup for that A side too. Lots to be done.
Yeah, exactly. 4 rounds. It's getting there. There's probably a pause, at least in my opinion, that needs to come through. I do want to see Turkey and Serbia both have a bit of a conversation. Turkey, for them, it's more about, right, this is going well. We've got no complaints. Let's just keep things ticking over. Bit by bit, we're actually making something of this. On the other side, though, I really want to see Serbia take a pause and say, okay, this is going wrong. We're maybe a little bit of trouble here. Let's not let this slip away for nothing. We've done so well in our first half, right? 10-2 first half. To choke that out would be catastrophic, right? No 2 ways about it. So
it'd be a little bit criminal.
Exactly. Just take a breather. And thankfully that is the case. Conversations been had. They'll kind of look for, okay, how are we going to now make our next gun round here worthwhile? Because if you don't find it, economy breaks, and then Turkey do get up to the 8th when I said you can start maybe thinking about this.
Yeah, at that stage, it does get a little bit uncomfortable. Something else, I guess, for Serbia, right? I think every once in a while they save a couple of rifles, but you could have made a case that they could have, you know, in some of those rounds maybe called it earlier and saved even more rifles, because that's really like the name of the game here if you're Serbia. It's just to have as many buy rounds as possible. You know, any team that James, for instance, would have been commanding would have been saving. I guess that's redundant. They do that anyway. But yeah, just to point out that could have been a problem for them. Nicely done. Dragon makes a drop down, and again, speaking of, they will catch him right at the end. That's such a shame. Otherwise, that is a different look for Serbia, and it does net them the opening kill.
Okay, finally, right? I don't think we've seen them have an opening kill and a conclusive one in a while, which at least keeps the numbers level, but that one's not going to help. They answer back, and a double coming through from Emmy back sight, but he gets naded out. So that is the sight open. It's now about getting this bomb down. And actually, how does X-File want to play this? He's dead. Never mind. Yeah, I was going to say he's so low. Where do you actually even play? Doesn't matter.
And M-Star moving up here. Alone versus 2, or waiting on the other side, and it's going to be an easy shot there for Kindo. Well done. Good retake. Serbia going to be up to 11 behind this one. It's a shame that X-File died like that, because he was going to be holding Kindo back. He'd already thrown a smoke to stop Kindo from pushing on through. So if the grenade doesn't catch him, then Kindo is going to have a very, very hard time helping out with the retake. But oh, it was that grenade. Wow, sick from Collins. All right, that's really well done. That actually made a huge difference.
It did. And credit to Kindo as well at the end there. In that 1 versus 2, he just waits. He knows I can't go in alone here with an AWP. There's too many angles for me to clear and kind of sort of not enough time. I can't make this work, man. I have to wait for the rifle to come support me, or I have to wait for him to push. And when you know it's a post plant in a numbers advantage situation for you, you know that the guy on the other side has to get proactive. He's trying to level the playing field. He's trying to find information, and all in all, just gets gifted the kill. It's as simple as that, really. 11-6. Yeah. So once again, it's still Serbia. While they may have fallen apart a little bit at the start of this half, they're still so close to the finish line anyway, just off the back of that first half. I don't think they're really worried too much at the moment. They finally took a pause. It worked out for them, and now they can do the exact same thing coming in towards this round because they know how close they are to that finish line and pushing us towards a third.
Yeah, they know it. 2 more rounds. Some money still behind for Turkey, so at least it doesn't look like at the moment they're going to be losing the map just because they run out of money.
Yeah.
But let's see if Serbia can replicate, you know, the success from the previous round. Again, I think getting those opening kills, even if they did lose Dragon to Emo right after it, it's still just, it does make the map a little bit easier having a plan to secure a kill early on. 3 people at the A bomb site with, I guess, Vladin playing that cam position. He's able to rotate back in the middle. Oh, they get deep in there. Wakardia hoping to get the opening, but Kindo is there. And he has been rock solid with the AWP. Now, he does get burned out in the corner. It's uncomfortable. Eventually, he'll die, but it's on Emo to try and reclaim the round here. 2 versus 3. He's got the Tech 9 out. Can he actually find the kill? Dragon is very low on health back here. Super easy to get the kill on him, assuming that he doesn't sneak on. He's actually hiding on the bomb side now. Are they going to catch him? Finally, they do. My God, I thought he was going to be able to sneak up close to Emo and just catch him, but now, Emmy alone, he's going to have to be the hero if they want a chance to win this round.
Yeah, they're questioning themselves now. Where is this last guy? He's fading the smoke. That's where he is. And he is falling. Turkey find a 7th. Still quite a margin to get back into this, but it's still better than nothing. It's still giving themselves these opportunities. The economy, it's workable over towards Serbia if they actually wants to force it. Yeah, I'm not actually too surprised to see this force come through. Just having that opportunity to go into bare minimum 2 rifles and have some support around it where there's still a little bit of an economy left in reserves for the next round. I don't hate this buy at all. You still can buy in towards the next regardless, so you're not taking an inherent risk. You're not in double eco either. This is a good buy for me, but it's just actually whether they can make it work. Molotov will come down and a force running away. Arcadia backs himself so much, doesn't he? And that's why there's one. He can't get the second though.
Yeah, you're right. He is his own hype man.
Yeah.
He's just into it every time. It's great fun. I love watching it. As you say, it hasn't been like the most successful map for him in that sense, but it doesn't really, you know, deter him from doing these kind of things, which in a way is a sick mentality to have, right? Obviously, it's easier to play like that if you feel like you're crushing it and you're winning every single fight, and it's just like, you know, you got 20 kills. Can be harder to play some of those entry roles if it's a little bit slower in that sense and you're not quite getting as many kills as you'd like, but yeah, he's still opening it up for his team, and that's kind of his role, so more power to him. It's Kindo a little bit further on back, and Emmy, who's picked up an AK, but he is already tagged up, so it could be a little bit tricky. There's a nice shot from Kindo. God, he's been playing well for the series so far. Gets another stunning headshot. Now down to 35 seconds here. They will get rid of Kindo, but do they realize that Emmy's here? He's sneaking up. Smoke's going to go up right in front of him, and a nice flick from Emo will make it just Dragon alone, and they're exiting the bomb site, and he's in a lot of trouble. He doesn't have the grenades. He doesn't have the kit either. How do you get this done? One flashbang just now picked up as he's standing on it, but Emo's going to be there. He doesn't get the flick, and yeah, 10-second defuse. Even if Xcloud is low, how do you find this?
The only way he could have done it, really, for me, is if he actually just used their smoke. I mean, he's still looking for the fight, which is the right call. He's going to get it. Time is close. He might... No, it was close. But, there's just not a kit on site, nothing he can work with. If he upgrades to an AK, I think the only way he actually could have made that work is if he decided to use their smoke against them and kind of just jumps in it on towards the bomb. And it's, you know, like a complete fall apart. It doesn't happen in the end. A close round. Turkey lose everybody, so it's at least expensive in that sense.
Sure.
I guess thankfully for them, though, they have plenty of money. So it's fine. They don't really have any issues. They just buy right back into it, really.
Wow. 11-8. They save the AK on the Serbian side, and not really much more than that. They're going to try and force into this round. It's actually going to be a very successful, not even a force, just a buy. They make it work, and scary point here, obviously, is if they lose this round and they run out of money, and then Turkey are right back in the mix. But they have to play their way through this one. X starts playing well. M starts playing well. Emo's up there now with 15 kills. And even Wakadia and Jota again, even if Wakadia is a little bit lower on kills, if he's getting the openings, I don't really mind so much. Still valuable.
Yeah, I'm with you. I honestly think it's for me, it's not about the way I'm seeing it. It's not the number of kills, it's the impact of those kills, right? And that's what I'm looking at right now. And it's pretty substantial. I think probably for me, I want to see a little bit more out of Jota. I feel like he hasn't had as many impactful moments maybe as Wakadia. Speaking of, I'll be sent in first to fight here. There's a couple of bodies to meet them. There's going to be a pop flash from Emmy. The second there's any contact out Brian Main, flash will come over, blinds up one, but they're kind of committed to this fight, aren't they? Very much so. There's still 2 towards A, so it's a slightly undermanned B site as they pop through. I mean, Wakadia, that is just outlandish. Why are you even pushing the smoke? But it works.
He's so fun to watch, isn't he? It's great. Great entertainment. Like he's putting on a real show for us.
Yeah.
4 versus 3, and they are saving already, and they should be. So Turkey will pick up a 9th round. Very open game. I think at this point, again, if you were just joining us and had seen nothing else, and you just, it's just like a 9-11 scoreline, you're going to be saying, man, Serbia's got to be, they got to be really careful right now. They could easily lose this match.
Yeah, for sure. Now we are. I said, earlier I was saying 10-8, 10-9, because that 2-round gap, that's where I was looking for them. The 2-round gap is still absolutely there. With that 9th put up, the big thing as well is, I guess, for Serbia is to keep them 3 alive, so they buy right back into this next round. At least they have those same sort of guns to work with. M-Star could actually be caught in the side here. They don't push far enough forward, so it doesn't make too much of a difference, actually. Not a bad find. There's still money. No issues. Both sides buying towards the next, but a 2-round game. If you win a half 10-2 and lose a map, it's inexcusable. There is no two ways about it. But it's thankfully still got a 2-round lead.
Yeah.
I'm not worried just yet, but they're kind of rapidly approaching that point, I think, Anders.
Yeah, the desperation is probably starting to set in soon. God, Dragon's got 11 kills. Pretty sick. But yeah, you're right. I mean, at 10-2 first half, you got to win that map. You've got to be able to close it out. They still have a couple of chances here. Saving the guns, I think, definitely very, very important. So, that's what's going to keep this alive. The real breakdown happens if Serbia run out of money at the wrong time and just cannot fight back. That's usually when you start to see some real desperate times. Ooh, look at this. They're going to be walking onto the A-bomb side here. Dragon smoked off by the cam position. If he wants to re-enter, this is dangerous because if he goes for it and dies, then the round might be over almost immediately. Wide swing comes in. He sees a couple of people already making their way past, but that means the bomb is going to get planted here, and a tough retake could be coming up. Nice shot from xCloud. Just deletes Dragon from the round. Jota's in the middle, catching any rotations through. And again, I don't think they should go for this.
Yeah.
Doing a little bit of damage, but the problem is the rifles are so valuable right now for the Serbians. That's the truth of it here. M-Star sticking around for a bit of a spray. They're going to get Jota in the middle, but still a 3 versus 3 after all is said and done. And now they're trying to go for the retake. Oh, they're actually making quick work of it right now. This is very, very impressive. Wakadia alone. He sprays. He almost gets the absolute spray down there, but they're going to find the bomb inside of the smoke. And a successful retake for Serbia as they get up to 12 rounds. That
was nearly unbelievably risky, and one that, if it failed, I think they would have been in such a problematic position with Serbia. Economy who's shot and all the rest. Thankfully, it isn't the case. And, we can look at this and say, fine, right? They've got map point. They're on the precipice of pushing us towards that Mirage. But, my God, that was so close. When Wakadia nearly gets the triple, which would have been, again, ridiculous. And just a classic Wakadia play, in all fairness, if he was to get it. 12-9, 3 rounds ahead for Serbia now to see this off. There is that investment to come through. Emo's only got a Tech 9, though. I think this might spell the beginning of the end, sadly. They were so close to really competing in this, but they've just not done enough to make it a possibility, unless they can put up a few in a row and take us towards OT. But it still feels like a big ask.
Yeah, it does. It definitely does. Here we are. So Ricardi again playing his own game, living in his own little world. It's great to be a part of. He's up to 14 now. I don't know how many opening kills that is, but look at how smooth he is. He has absolutely no fear whatsoever from anybody on the Serbian side. And now he's just dipped around the corner. The timing is unbelievable. And it's going to be a 5 versus 3 to start this one with. It's beautiful. Beautiful work.
Yeah, it is. It is. Waiting to see if anything more comes his way. I mean, Emmy's sitting in just the corner there of Dark on the exit, but the Orb going to get a couple of interesting kills here. One for the Orb, one for Dragon, another one coming through for Kindo, and he nearly gets a third as well. On the jump, Emstar gets caught. Ricardi is all that's left, and he could be caught in rotation. He is. I thought that round at one point was lost. Thankfully, Serbia see it over the line, so we are going towards a third, but
yeah,
they were made to work for that. My God, at the end, that was very uncomfortable at one point.
It was. Started at 5 versus 3. I mean, there was a way that Turkey could have made that full comeback. But we kind of said at the start, you know, getting 2 rounds, probably not enough. Again, if they'd had 4, like we kind of mentioned, like that 4-8 scoreline probably would have been different. I think Turkey win this one, or at least get it into overtime. So crazy scenes here on map number 2. We do obviously have a third map to decide the whole thing with. So one final test for both these teams, but it's been very enjoyable. Watching Ricardi do his stuff has been great fun. But before we get there, we are going to have a break. So stay tuned and we'll be right back. All right, welcome back once again. We have a third map coming up. It was Serbia surviving the Turkish scare, at least on the second map. But third map, what do you think? You want to change your prediction? We've seen a lot good out of Serbia, or are you sticking with Turkey for this one?
I think I'm still going to stick with Turkey. Just I always just look at the kind of the name value, but that was a weird map. It was such a bad start for Turkey, like 10-2 down at the half.
Yeah.
The second half was much better, though. That's the good thing. So I think hopefully they maybe have some confidence where they come in towards that third map and they're thinking, okay, you know, we did okay. It's Mirage as well. We know it's a good map for the region specifically for Turkey. We know if the individuals get online, Katie was looking good right up towards the end there as well. It took a while to get into it, but once he did, he looked really solid. This is a map in which he, with Eternal Fire, looks so scary on. So maybe we can talk about this, that, and the other, but I'm going to leave with Turkey.
Right.
But a weird map too, I think, is the way. You know, it's like just all about who could put up basically the worst CT side.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I look forward to seeing Ricardi back. I hope he's going to play more of that same style where he's just kind of in your face and looking to punish every single round. It's great fun. And even though it didn't work for a bit there on the second map, eventually did, and he got so many opening kills. So like he's just insanely confident in this game, and it's great fun to watch. So kind of more of that. But even still on the other side, Kindo is still playing really well. Dragon was having a good game, and Vladen on that one, obviously he had the huge clutch at the start of it that kind of, I think, set up Serbia to win ultimately. Like if he didn't win that round, it's very likely that it's a completely different game.
Yeah, no, I agree. I absolutely agree. While we are waiting for everybody to get ready in the server, we can touch on the other results. Croatia have beaten Israel 2-0, which feels like a bit of an upside. I actually like that Israel side on paper. 13-10 map 1, and then a 19-16 OT victory in map number 2 there for Croatia. Then in our second, or the other game that was going on, the other side of the bracket, that one seemed pretty one-sided. It was a 13-4 map number 1, and I think a 13-5 map number 2 to Romania over Belarus. So that one makes a little bit more sense. And Ukraine versus Bulgaria. Ukraine have won that 2-0 as well. 13-7 map number 1, 13-11 map number 2. So yeah, I think the Ukraine one maybe arguably is a bit of an upset. That Bulgarian side on paper looked really good.
Yeah, I think so too. Definitely very curious about the Israel one. Obviously we didn't catch it, but we just the way that they've been playing so far, you would have assumed that they would have been able to do a really good job. But yeah, maybe we'll go back and watch the demo of that at some point just to figure out what's going on. Yeah, I think like it's a bit of a coin flip almost. I think the individual skill on the Turkish side right now is really high, but honestly, the way that Serbia are playing it is exactly how you want to play against a team like that. Like, they're so good at slowing it down. They know what's coming. They know there's going to be aggression. And that's kind of what they are just playing around. So it's pretty cool. It's nice to see like a good matchup of two different styles, and it kind of makes it a little bit even.
Yes, yeah, I do agree. Match apparently will be going live in just a moment. We are heading towards Mirage as our decider. And just to run through the scenarios, we've kind of been given updates by the admins of kind of how this will work. So it's a little bit different to East and West. For the East qualifier, if you win 2 consecutive games in the upper bracket, you will qualify. Simple as that. If you drop into the lower bracket, you have to win 3 best of 3s to then qualify through that lower bracket, or 3 best of 3s in that lower bracket in some form. And then, of course, the losers of the 3rd round of the lower bracket then face each other for a spot, for the final spot, the 5th spot at the World Esports Championship. So there's 5 spots available. You get 2 by being in the upper bracket final through the, obviously just winning 2 in a row. Nice and simple. And then, of course, you've got to go through that lower bracket if you aren't part of that. So you want to kind of make this as easy as you possibly can, right? You want to just do it nice and quick. 2 best of 3s, 1 a day, simple as. Anything less, and then you drop into the lower bracket, it becomes significantly harder. There's smaller room for error, and there are all the rest.
Yeah, it's just it's not a fun time. Like, things spiral out of control. You have one bad day down there in the lower bracket, and suddenly it's all gone wrong. So yeah, I'm sure that they that everyone's quite keen on just making their way through without too much nonsense here. Mirage is the deciding map here in the best of 3. I mean, I love it. I think there's nothing wrong with it. Be cool again to see a little bit more out of Emo with the AWP. Hit some good shots here and there, but I don't think he's not at that takeover performance. So yeah, that's kind of something I'm still looking forward to. But otherwise, I think it's going to be another really, really even game is my expectation here. Yeah, I don't know. Knife round that they're doing now, I doubt it's going to be super significant, but I guess we'll find out.
Yeah, I agree. I think when I look at it as well, I mean, maybe a CT side start is something that Serbia, I think, would want. I actually think, to a degree, Turkey want the T side if they win the knife round. I actually, as weird as I said, this is a map in which is inherently CT side, is the 3rd most CT side map in the pool statistically. I still think Turkey would actually prefer to start on that C side. That's where they've looked better. Their CT side was obviously a big weakness for them in towards map number 2. And it actually, to a degree, was a little bit of a weakness in towards map number 1 as well. It wasn't as strong. So that actually will be the case. Just being given the update. Serbia can start on that CT side. T side starts for Turkey. I think that's the best of both for both of these teams. I think Serbia would have wanted to start CT, and I think Turkey, even if they had won the knife round, I think they would be better off on the C side. So this is as good as it kind of gets for me. This is the perfect kind of start off to this map number 3.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, they obviously love playing the C side at the moment, so it just means Ricardo again is going to have more freedom to run around and do whatever it is that he does. So I don't think they're going to be complaining either, really. Here we go. 3rd map is coming up, and it looks like it's going to be just an attack towards the A-bomb side with not much delay. Hard call here for Serbia. They have a single Molotov. I don't even know why is it a Molotov and not a smoke and a kit. But regardless, it is. The bomb is surely going to get planted here. And the question is, can they find a way to retake it?
Oh, that's so lucky. Just tapping away. Fortunately, he'll get a second off the back of it and a 3rd. What is happening? Guys, he's still there. He's still alive. And he's on for the 80 runs out of ammo. And he just pulls his knife out. Oh my God, I cannot believe it. Emi got 4, and he's single-handedly won Serbia the 1st round, it seems. And he has.
Wow. Well, that went a little bit differently than expected. Normally, when you don't have anyone in the bomb site by the time the grenades are landing, it kind of means you're going to have to go for a much harder retake, right? This is so unexpected. First one there, but nice playing at the edge. And that's everything you would have wanted. Sickening play from Emi. Obviously, a supremely experienced player on this side. And Serbia, good start. Yeah. So, a first for them is good. Emi has got to take a lot of the praise for that. The experienced man. But he does get quite fortunate for the first one. And then the 2 after, they just don't even look at him. So he just gets away with it somehow, some way. A first on the board is good. A 4 is going to come through from Turkey, as expected, of course, due to them getting a bomb down. It's a best of 1 stay alive in the upper bracket here, so it's so important. And a triple in towards mid is huge. Jota gets 1 and a 2nd. All right,
1v2, and he hasn't taken a single point of damage. Round is on.
Yeah, this could be one, but no head armor here. So the MP9, he was looking the wrong way. A couple of different things to go against him. Still, it would have been sick to see him, try and fight for that one. But that MP9 will do so much damage. You don't have the Kevlar helmet there. It will be a third round that's coming up, and yeah, maybe some upgraded pistols to be spotted on this particular side for the Turks. But otherwise, doubtful that there will be more than that happening. So they're very good, right? They're playing on the slightly more favored side here, Serbia, and they're winning some of these early rounds. It just makes it a little bit more stress-free. You're not fighting to get back in, especially on the CT side with the economy the way that it is. It's just good to have this scenario.
Exactly. Oh, bit of a tap, bit of a flash. They're going to try and dive out. Vladen, yeah, he'll catch him. I think the flashes did more damage to them than it did to Vladen, who's actually doing so well. And now at range, he's got the support as well. It might not even be a single casualty here, I think. And that is going to be the case. One of the throwaway rounds. Who really cares? Nothing really too big to talk about in that one. 3-0 start, though, for Serbia. First gun round for Turkey. As Emo's going to bring out the AWP. This is one that has to be utilized effectively. This first gun round for Turkey has to be where they show the strengths that we saw in that second half of Anubis, which actually made that a competitive game when it really didn't feel like it was going to be. They got 7 rounds on the T side. We need to see some of those start right here, right now.
But the fact that they keep everyone alive, they even have a Galil on Vladen there, so they're gonna have so much money to work with. It, it's just a great setup right now. Grenade lands a little bit further back than I was expecting, but it still is pretty good, right? That's the kind of damage where now, if you get a one tap with one of the M4s, you're going to be getting kills on some of these players. It all counts. People sometimes only really kind of rate it when a grenade does 50 damage, but I mean, less than that will still be super serviceable. Evens out that difference between the AK and the M4. It's worth it. Wakadia, nobody is surprised. Sneaking off. He's on a solo mission and going to absolutely catch Vladen with his pants down. Unfortunately for him, the gun barrel showing here for Kindo. So he knows, but he can't quite find it. Now he might be exposed. Oh, yeah, he's going to get blown up. Oh, just a devastating round so far. It starts with Wakadia, but it doesn't end there. And now 2 versus 4 here. Emmy, not a position where you want an MP9 at that distance. He's going to go down.
Yeah, it's it. Nothing, I don't think, on offer for Collins here. Keep on the rifle. You've got nothing to lose in just keeping this in their favor. I don't think he's going to be hunted. There is maybe a little bit of a search party. Yeah, this short player is the main one, but nice find from Collins. Might still get caught in the side. The market player just misses the timing. X-File might catch it back, and he will. So, Turkey get a first. Couple of casualties to make sure that nobody survives over towards Serbia, and that is good. They needed that. They had to come in towards that round and make it stick. So the fact that they have, it's all we can really ask of, and it's about building upon it now. Try and continue going forward, put multiple rounds in quick succession, and then we may see ourselves into a chance where, at the very least, that T-side can build up in a strong way. For Serbia, they're not too worried. They buy back in. That was, technically speaking, a bonus buyout from them as well, so not the worst one in the world to lose.
Definitely not. Ooh, Kindo off to a nice start. We'll find a shot on Nemo. He's going to be on my mind for a while here, Kindo. I don't think I've seen him play that often, but so far this has been a very good display for him in this best of 3 alone. He's going to go back, find Jota, who I think had found the target down there towards the gate ramp, but gets interrupted by the orbit range. And now it's just Wakadia left here. Could get the top of the head showing. Oh, it's anything but clean. He doesn't get to throw the grenade either. That is funny. For Serbia, it's great news. 4-1. Yeah, Kindo. I don't know. Do you have strong opinions about him as his future?
Yeah, I think he's really talented. I've seen him on a couple of different rosters, all kind of domestic ones. I guess he hasn't branched out from my understanding. Not that I've seen at the very least. Hasn't gone international, but he honestly has been pretty good. I've caught him up in a few times. Very talented guy. Somebody who I think definitely probably deserves a little bit more respect. He's good. I really do think he's actually very talented. He's been kind of with the same core for a while. You know, obviously before he was playing Partisan, he was playing. Actually, in all fairness, he played with Team Secret for a brief stint, but it was, I mean, only a few months. And that Team Secret team didn't really do anything. So I don't think he's really to blame. But then before that, it was, you know, the iNation core, same sort of guys. Before that, Full Glory, same guys again. So he's stuck primarily with this roster. But yeah, he's good. He's a decent player. I really do think he's pretty damn solid. I don't know, you may not remember, he actually was out in Serbia with us last year. They were the ones who knocked out, it was Team Serbia who knocked out Uzbekistan, so IC Learning and co. They ended up finishing 3rd overall in Yash, and he was a part of it, but he wasn't actually that big of a part of it. They had a very strong rifling core back then, which did a lot of the legwork for Serbia. They were pretty scary in terms of the rifles last year.
Well, certainly making a bit of a name for himself at the moment. It's been pretty cool to see, and it's consistent, right? It's been across multiple maps, multiple series. I think I've seen Kindo have a truly bad map yet, where you think, my God, he's disappeared from this one. He's just always doing good work.
Yeah,
that's I think it's so important to have those reliable players. Underrated. We can all spot the highlight players that have insane mechanics, but if it's just for like one, you know, every 3rd map or something, it's, you know, you can't do much with that. It's hard to make that work over a long stretch of a series or a whole tournament even. Looks like this will be an attempted B attack. Maybe a little bit of a mid presence. Could go through catwalk with a couple of people, but the bomb is leading this way. We're down to about 40 seconds. Turkish team has been slowed down, and I wonder if, you know, is that a good or a bad thing? They did love playing that early aggressive style. Oh, and actually they're going to bring the bomb back. Okay, for whatever reason, they give up on the B attempt. They don't even really get close to trying it. Oh, it's a gun barrel showing. He knew Ricardi, but he can't find the shot. So Collins hiding in the corner. He doesn't have a lot of backup here. He will get another kill. And now out in the open, what's the bomb? Oh dear, that's actually the bomb. How did it roll that deep in? The round is done. They can't win it. They can't even get. It's just over. Oh, I don't know how. I want to see that. Like, how did it roll all the way into window?
They lost it on time. Was he jumping into window and then decided to cancel, but because he died, it fell forward? It's awkward.
I don't know.
It will mean that Serbia take a 4-round lead. And also, without that bomb plant, which they absolutely needed, or the round itself, they can't buy. So, I don't know. Turkey are kind of shooting themselves in the foot with some of these rounds. They're playing actually quite tentative. And so far, for Serbia, they're loving life. They're playing well. We kind of spoke about this a little bit earlier as well. There's a real clash in the mindsets here where it's this individualistic, kind of puggy style of play that Turkey have got. It's a little looser because they're not a team, whereas the Serbia they are. I always say I normally back the teams, but I thought the name value would be enough. That's why. Well, Katie swings out, finds one with the Tech 9, and they've actually got the site and the bomb plant.
Yeah, we're back to a different pace, and it's because of the weaponry. But again, it just also fits the Turkish side a little bit more. Dragon will get a kill on Makaria, who wasn't looking at the corner. Otherwise, maybe there would have been an awkward moment there. 4 versus 4, and making it 4 versus 3 as Emo will catch Collins before the retake is even really attempted here. 4 versus 3, nice shot from Ladden. But still, they're very far away, and you can tell they feel quite uncomfortable about this whole thing. They will get a couple of kills here, but still, this is already so deep in the bomb timer that you have to basically run on there. Like, this is about smoking the bomb and trying to run there. If you're going to do it, and you can already tell, they're not. Okay, so they make it a bit of an expensive round for the Turkish squad. That's still worth a lot. They're going to lose the round, but so far, oh yeah, the bomb will get the last. Kindo can't save the AWP, but still, that's a victory for Turkey, but 5 people dying. Yeah, so here's the bomb just spinning around, and it launches itself. The bomb physics are hard to predict.
Yeah, I that's such a weird one. Yeah, it's unfortunate. It really is unfortunate. Just spills forward like that. I wasn't sure if it was somebody trying to, because there was a little play. It looked like they were going to try and split through mid. I wasn't sure one of those guys on their backs, but yeah, not to be. At least Turkey got a second round. At least, you know, a bit of a quicker, unorthodox play. They're actually quite scary when they're in Turkey's hands, just because of individuals like Workadia. Swinging out with a Tech 9 is probably one of the main people you don't want to face, in all fairness, from the Turkish side on those quicker plays. Dragon quick swing from him, though. Lovely. Finds Emo just above the edge of that smoke. Vladen, if they push the smoke, they're dead. Dead on arrival. Yeah. He's playing on Orthodox. This is an open angle. The crosshair shouldn't be trained here. Now it might, though.
Yeah, maybe a little bit easier by now, but still, you never know. That MP9 right in their faces. Instant shoe up, and he nearly wins the second fight. But Wakardia did get Kindo as well. Okay, that's interesting. M-Star just barely living through the fight. Emmy, I mean, they're real far away. Actually, the bomb is they have to go back and pick up the bomb. If M-Star keeps, or if Emmy keeps going, some of them are so low that he could make this a viable round just because it's taken them such a long time to plant the bomb. But it might be all for nothing. Jota is the high health player, and he is in a good position to stop this one. AK versus MP9, you got to think the AK is going to win this one.
Yeah, surely. Bomb plant. And the round is the main thing. Just make sure it's not expensive on the end. I mean, Wakardia and M-Star, 7 points between the two of them. Yeah, that's good. Oh! But
if he had the kit, it would be fun.
I'm gonna say not a bad fight at the very least. The second that Molotov gets thrown, he swings into it. Knows he's got a kind of a split second, but because it's close enough range, the MP9 is just lethal. If you are though Wakardia and M-Star, you actually really have to hightail it. The bomb radius is pretty substantial on Inferno these days. M-Star, he'll get out of there. They are so low, but I think they both should be fine. Yeah, they are. It was all good. They went as far away as more or less humanly possible for Turkey taken here. It started well as well. You know, Dragon swings in towards mid, which was fine, but they just trays fall apart. And I think potentially if Wakardia had only been limited to 1 kill, I probably would have given Serbia a chance that round just because they've got apps control. It's not actually about the numbers themselves, it's about the control over towards the B site, but they don't. The MP9 up close range can only get 1, can't get Wakardia, he gets traded out. They then have B site control, and then they have all the room for the post plant. Economy, of course, can be hindered for Serbia here. Just a hero AK to work with, scooped up at the tail end by Emmy. He had a pretty decent series, in all fairness, so far. The experienced man of the server. He's been around for years, but still ever present, it seems. And he still, honestly, hasn't let off his ball yet. He's been pretty good.
I would agree. 5-3. It's a bit of an interesting game again. Turkey looked for a minute like they were going to get wrecked in this opening half, but I don't know. They've made it a bit more competitive all of a sudden. Wakardia, never really any fear in his brain. Zeus on the other side. X-Cloud. Did Wakardia send in X-Cloud? He's like, why don't you go first for once? That's normally Wakardia's role in this team, but all right. Should be a free kill. Oh no, Jotson. Surely he saw that. Maybe his brain just didn't register. That's kind of devastating. Kindo, he could have a free kill himself, make it a 1 versus 2, but the USP, he doesn't want to pull the trigger just yet. Oh, now he does, but there was a second player. 1 versus 1, and it's just barely going to be Emor coming out on top with the round. Very close, very expensive, but Turkey will win it.
And 1 round game. When the Zeus picks up the AK, I thought there was a chance, but they actually just pepper balcony with util. But get a brief moment that if he swung immediately, he could have caught somebody off guard. In the end, doesn't make a difference. I think went for a little bit of a gamble stack, couple of gimmicks. They get a couple of kills, but it's nothing too special. In the end, it is a 1 round game, and you're right. You know, a few rounds ago, I was looking at this thinking, I think Serbia are going to just walk all over this half, but thankfully Turkey have woken up. They've arisen from their slumber a little bit. App's play here is ballsy, but his own team's Molotov actually forces him away. That's so unfortunate.
Okay. 3 versus 4. X-Cloud going down again at the start of it. He's been one of the really strong players for Turkey, but losing his life early on in some of these rounds, so hard for him to have much of an impact. The bomb is at top mid. Wakardia, ever the menace over at this hallway. Oh, this boost could be devastating, but it's very well timed. Surely he sees the gun barrel first. Yeah, he's going to get that kill easily. Oh, and he wants to hunt it down. That is super brave. Not quite going to be able to catch him. Wakardia has been spotted as well. He didn't get that straight headshot he was looking for. He will get the grenade kill, but I think it's too little and too late, as Serbia are just about to take this 6th round.
Unless some heroics come through, I don't think it's going to be the case. 1v3, Molotov will come in towards apartments. I mean, he has time to wait out the flames, but I honestly think at this point, just keep hold of what you've got. If you can, Dragon's timing's perfect here. Emo's not going to slip the net. Oh, and now he's just hightailing it. It is a tale of cat and mouse for Emo to keep hold of this orb. He might just get around the corner, and somehow he actually does. But wherever he goes, it's a perilous place. Smoke going to come out. He will not cross, and that will be the round. I honestly think they would have been better off keeping hold of the orb there. I know it means that he doesn't have money, you know, obviously, because you don't get money staying alive, but I think you could maybe have an AWP and a few upgraded pistols and kind of make those sort of rounds work, where you use the pistols as basically bait to give the AWP fights, and you just hard focus on one side early, whether it's like diving out of palace, for example, or trying to push out of the apartment, something of the sort. Not they go for will be a force buy regardless, though. So now in hindsight as well, if you're also going to force buy, you may as well have just kept the AWP alive. Scouts is what Emo's got this time, and he has got a tag, a couple of them.
Always the start of a fun round when you see those scout tags start to roll in. Doesn't mean the round will necessarily be a success, but it does kind of, every time you add the chance that something crazy could happen. Xcloud, Dowie gets a bit of revenge, will take down Dragon. Kindo will be dropping Jota in return, so still a 4 versus 3. The bomb is towards the A ramp, but alone. So surely somebody's going to have to rotate over to help out Ricardia on this side. Xcloud, he's on a mission elsewhere on the map. He's just on his own trying to get stuff done. They're going to lose him over on that side of the map, but theoretically you could walk on here and get a bomb plant with no interruptions. But Ricardia doesn't know that, so he's slow stepping it to try and get in a position to find somebody, and that might be what ultimately comes back to haunt him here. Emmy, now if the bomb is planted, might just be able to swing and take him down.
Ricardia looking out. Emmy's probably going to be this first contact. If he can find this, he needs a bomb plant, and he does. Maybe it's spray from Emmy. That is the plant. Honestly, this can now keep them afloat a little bit, even if this round is to be lost. But look how low they are. A tag with the scout, a tag with the pistol, and this round is doable. Emo got a chance. He actually really could be the hero. He's started this round too with his tags he did at the very, very starting towards mid. He doesn't do a lot. Wakani is tucked as well. Not showing any sort of information. The time is ticking. Emo's now got an M4 as well to make matters worse. Surely Serbia can't win this.
And again, those are the two people that got tagged by scouts at the start. So for them to just run on there, it's going to be a hell of a lot harder. I must say for Emmy, that was a disappointing spray. Definitely should have won the fight against the Deagle there, but what a shocking round. Turkey's picked it up, and they had no business doing that. They were not supposed to be winning this round, but somehow they did. Round number 12 is the next one. For Xcloud, these are all like really, really good fights for him. He's done a great job in the round, but yeah, this is a 4-on-3, and then somehow they just can't finish it off. This one, I think, is that seals their fate.
Yeah. I think you are right. That's a bad one to lose, though. It really is. Serbia should, bare minimum, have 7 and be now coming in towards this final round fighting for the 8th. The fact that they don't, it's tough. It is tough. Kindo, at least that first one's good, and it's one of the most important men in the server. That are Ricardia going to get a second on towards M-Star. Beautiful shots.
Kindo still landing those bullets right through here. It's a lot of damage, and if I winged one of the last bullets there, catching a headshot on the Xcloud. So this one should be in the bag. Imo and Jota, surely there's no way they can survive this 2 versus 5. Got a single Molotov on Jota, so that's always potentially interesting, but we need another 10 seconds off the clock before it's even feasible to be able to use that one. And sneaking up behind, Jota's out of it. It's just Emo left. Only one single casualty in the round for Serbia, as they will get the 7-5 half that they were looking for. I think that's pretty respectable, but honestly, for Turkey, they had a couple of, I think, very, very fortunate rounds that have kind of kept them in the running here. So it's still a pretty even game, all things considered.
It is. It is. I think this is one which still can absolutely flip either way. The only thing that will probably look back, if this isn't to go the way of Turkey, is actually look at the start of this map and say, kind of what went wrong. You're 5-1 down, and nothing was going their way. The couple of gun runs they had were pretty rough. The force buys weren't getting nearly enough kind of mileage as they usually did for Turkey, especially tail end of Anubis and what we saw in towards map number 1 as well. 7-5, I think, is probably the even scoreline that you can get for considering these two sides, this map being inherently CT-sided. I think both sides can be relatively happy.
$13 Yeah, this could be huge for Serbia if they're able to pick it up. It's a decent Molotov to put some pressure on Wicardia, but he's answering back. He doesn't really succumb to pressure, spins around. My God, the kills are so quick, but Vladen somehow is still alive up here. He's low on health already, but Wicardia, that was a flurry of pistol bullets coming out from him. He was spinning left and right to pick them up. He does see the gun barrel. He knows that someone's there, but he has to make these really quick headshots. Might be a chance. I think it might have been given up. Now 1 versus 1. Vladen looking to see if he get the pistol ace. It's not going to be possible, but my God, what a close round.
Yeah, absolutely. That was probably closer than it should have been, and it now makes this game very close too. Only 1 round in it. The flurry of frags that come through in just rapid succession. I thought it was done from the get-go, but Vladen actually really gives them an opportunity out of nowhere. Oh, crazy. Crazy one. 1 round in it. They are going to force here, Serbia. Hero AK, few upgraded pistols. Pretty big call to make. You lose this, not only are you then a tied game, but you don't have any money, so that probably starts to spiral a little bit further where the lead is gifted to Turkey. And then for me, that is a little bit awkward. So I'm going to tentatively keep an eye on this, but that's one that I think this could be a very big call. Maybe where ecoing this, buying full in the next with AKs across the board is potentially the better decision.
Yeah, that's not completely off. A little bit of a break here. Again, Wicardia, 13 kills. Stepping above and beyond everybody else, at least on his side. Kindo in the battle to be for the lead at the moment. He's got 14 kills there. But it's anybody's game at the stage. Not sure what the typing is about. Hopefully they will not be changing servers again. We had that little fun earlier.
Yeah. I think some sort of... I'm wondering, I'm looking across to see who the tech issue is. Everybody's bought. Most people seem to be moving. So maybe it is something of like a server issue or a TeamSpeak issue or something like that. You know, it's like just a little bit of a connection thing. And then they're okay. But yeah, who knows? They're all typing, which is either a really good sign because they're getting it fixed or a really bad sign. It's one of the two.
Yeah. That is hopefully it's a good sign. At least hopefully they're all there typing. Real trouble happens if people start leaving their rooms or something. You have to get them back into it. But for the minute, we should be fine. A lot of switching around. But yeah, for the second half here, I mean, Tech9s on a map like Mirage always makes me think that we're going to see like some sort of a B-pop coming out. And again, I don't know. I rate those very, very highly once you get onto the B-bomb side. But you have to sort of make those jumps out the window. Mm-hmm. And sometimes the push just dies before you even get there. So, but I feel like if you land on the floor of the bomb side over at B, then you're probably doing pretty well.
I think you're right. Sadly, we are sitting here and we have no update for now. So we have to just wait. Basically, there's a bit of a tech issue. We're not too sure what the tech issue is. Hopefully we'll find out. But, hey, there you go. Never mind. It's done. Who cares what the tech issue is? Tech pause done. We're about to get back underway. 1 round lead for Serbia, but a pretty bold choice to force buy. In all fairness, a hero AK, a few upgraded pistols. I'm not too sure how I feel about this. This is a really scary kind of prospect that they've kind of put themselves into. You lose this, you not only lose the lead, but it's probably gifted towards Turkey.
Yeah, that is a fair point. We're getting to that stage of the game where things are just getting very, very tense for either side. For Turkey, it probably matters a little bit more winning this one just because it's, you know, it's their economy here that's on the line. They are on the CT side. The C side obviously a lot easier for them to start to pick up some cash down the road. One single AK, and wow, they are slow walking it out of T-spawn. It's kind of curious. Would have expected maybe a little bit more speed behind this one, but they looked a bit confused at the start of the round. Either way, they're finally going to be a top mid, and at the end of all of it, it's just kind of a default setup that they've got going on. They're walking all the way from the middle, throwing no grenades, making no noise whatsoever. I mean, it could work. They could catch somebody off guard here. The question is, I think, whether Dragon could beat Wakadia at this range. Already, the one kill coming in from him here. Wakadia looking to see if he could do more. Oh, and he will. That angle is powerful. 3 kills. You've got to be kidding me. It's now Aladdin and Dragon 2 versus 5, and they're going to get picked up. Not a single kill on the side of Serbia here.
Ozzers. Yeah, this is a pretty damning one to take on what was pretty needed for Serbia, or at least to make it a little bit competitive. Keep an AK alive, that'd be a nice thing, but nothing happens. The force buy-in, there's nothing to fall off it, and there's nothing to fall back on now for Serbia, where, like I said, they lose the lead, they've gifted it towards Turkey, and they have nothing really of an investment towards this one to work with. I'm not too sure why you force buy there. I don't think you need to. You could have had full AKs, more or less, here. They could have even gone in towards like a Tech 9 without the armor and just tried to barrel in towards a site for a bomb plant in that previous round, and it would have been inherently more successful. Nade is good, but Vladin's shot is better. That's a pretty spicy one. MP9 on the move from Jota, though. Never missing those.
He's been all over the place with that weapon. A great weapon in this round to clean it up. Speaking of which, Jota, no, he doesn't want to take the ramp. I thought maybe he'd go and check the A ramp, because then they would definitely know what was coming, but he's staying a little bit further on back. M-Star, I think, has one job, which is to stay alive here. That's the only requirement. Doesn't really matter how many kills you get. Just don't go down, and everything will be fine. Wakadia is here as well, so now it's pretty much all secured. Emmy hoping to do a little bit more damage. Bomb plant not going to happen. It's dropped in the back of the hallway behind him, so another round. They keep running it back. They're getting there. They're in the lead now with 8-7. And some money back on the Serbian side here, but I don't know. This is getting a little bit problematic.
It is. This is getting awkward. Now, I haven't seen anything on offer. I mean, at least now I get the true judgment. You got the T side first gun round, true gun round, that is, because they had 1 AK earlier, but you don't read too highly towards that one. That's pretty emphatic. It's technically a bonus by the Turkey, because I haven't taken too many casualties. But still the same thing. You don't find any success here. You're in a bit of a weird spot. No overfighting with Turkey too, which I can really respect. They're a side who like to get active, and I'm pretty aggro, but they're pretty happy just to give them mid control, because they know from there itself they can't do too much. They've got to try and at least fight them on those kind of site fronts if they want any chance. So this is fine. Don't take any mid control. At least if you commit to the whole team not doing it, it's fine.
Yeah, I think that's a fair point. Sneaking into the middle, but X-Cloud catching at least one right through the smoke. And Jota up here, always a powerful position, this one. He's going to get traded, though, right away. Oh, it's awkward. They line up, and Emmy at least will stem the bleeding. But if he got sprayed down, too, the round would have been instantly over here. Imor, not able to get that shot, but the backup is there already towards the connector. Collins, last man standing here to try and stop Turkey from winning the round. Bomb plant, I doubt it's going to be possible, and he will get taken down. So, wow, they are really running it back here. The Turkish squad just making some real headway.
It's getting pretty damning now. I mean, sooner rather than later, Serbia have to put a round on the board. If they don't, they're going to be in a really troublesome spot. 2-round advantage for Turkey. Hero AK for Emmy, which is, it's bold, but I mean, what have you really got to lose, I think, at this point, too? 9-7. They've got to get a bomb plant. That's, for me, at least priority number 1. The AK's already down. That makes life tough, and Wakadia gets caught in the open. I don't think he expected another push, but X-Floud, oh my god. That transition is wonderful. He falls in the end, but he's done more than enough.
Where have Serbia gone? They are they're lacking a little bit all of a sudden. I know they had some money issues, but they're not really having the impact that we're looking for here. The money, on the other hand, on the CT side right now is looking pretty decent. So they're not even getting close enough where they're sort of whittling away at that economy here. Wow, this is something happened. They had a little bit of a timeout, some tech issue to sort out, and once that was over, Serbia didn't really look like they got back into this match. Gotta wonder what that's about here. Nice shot from Emo. That'll be another kill. And, yeah, this is looking scary. 3-round lead, and they're another 3 rounds away from winning this whole thing.
All right. This is, yes, it's a wild situation we are considering at the half, but it's pretty rough. I mean, it's 5 rounds in a row, fair play to Turkey, but just no response at all. I mean, Serbia still aren't really even scratching the surface of this CT side, which is quite wild considering Turkey's CT side is really what let them down in that previous matchup, in the previous map, and where they really couldn't find any form. They a different side here, Mirage. Jota in towards Sandwich. It's a bold position to play. It's normally a one and done, but in all fairness, there's one. Make that 2. He actually has the support of the orb. Could be in a bit of trouble now, but as long as he gets somebody fighting with him, they could trade, but they don't. And actually, this is awkward, this fight. He will fall. He needed a trade, and he doesn't get it.
Yeah, and I think maybe the Turkish squad here, maybe a little bit too aggressive for their own good. Even though they traded 2 for 1, maybe they just leave it at that, right? They have the 1-man advantage. They're playing 4 on 3, but they kind of kept fighting it a little while longer. And the end result here is a 3 versus 3. Plenty of time on the clock. Sure, Emmy's been tagged up, so they're going to throw him over the AWP. And then they actually look like they're going to go back out through the palace, which could definitely work. Not that many interesting grenades left on the CT side, so Emmy should be fine up here, even though he's a bit low. The rest can kind of jump down and try and plant the bomb. But yeah, the next kill could very well decide the round here.
It's not going to be either of them on their first shot, but Exfile gets a little gap before the util gets affirmatively put down. Kindo, oh, that's a big one. He needed to swing in and find it. What a reaction, though, from Xcloud. Last couple of rounds from him have been superb. Got that 3 kind of spray down in via mid, and then the 2 in towards that one. Uber important to keep things in Turkey's favor. And now only 2 rounds away. Money, a little feeble again for Serbia, and they've got a big choice here to make. Are we playing to win, or are we playing for overtime? Are we buying now, or are we buying next round? And where are we gambling? Both ways of decisions, and it just depends on the team, but yeah, judging by Vladim's investment, it might be for now.
I mean, this is a really weird position to be in. Again, it's been such a competitive match all throughout. It's been really, really fun to watch, but Serbia kind of look like they're running out of steam towards the end of the game here, which is unfortunate because they've been able to keep up really nicely otherwise. Wicardia is also dropping 20 kills, so I guess that's also a bit of an issue.
Okay. All right. 11-7. They have opted actually kind of for neither of the 2 decisions. 2 of them have Hero AK bought, then the other 3 have decided not to. Xcloud, this is so aggro. I love it. He's going to get so much information. There is nobody A, guys. He's wrapping mid already. He isn't stopping either. He's going to go all the way around. The pot flash catches Emmy. So that makes his life worse. Jota checks in a little late. This is all about timing, but I'm still looking towards top mid where Xcloud gets his.
Yeah, the timing is really good. Wicardia is going to get traded right away, but M-Star just swings in for a left and right. He's going to get double kill before it's all done with. And they know where Emmy is. Inside of the Molotov, it seems he'll be dropped down low. Grenades on top. Why not hunt him down? They feel so confident. The flashes are on top, and it will be Turkey to take round number 12 for themselves. They're just 1 away from securing the victory here.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow. What a weird second half. Serbia have not done anything. You know, they had a 7-5 half, and since then it's been one-sided. And this is quite surprising because Serbia, I mean, the T side in that previous match was really, really good. I mean, that's where they did all their best work, and it was actually Turkey on the CT side who were, you know, I hate to say it, but pretty woeful. They were 10-2 down then. So,
yeah,
so rapidly things have changed in towards Mirage. It's not over just yet, but it feels like a get in there. ME gets popped in towards mid, and he'll deliver on the first kill. Wakadia gets caught with aggression, something that he's used to doing himself.
Yeah, taste of his own medicine, you might say. Nicely done from Emor, but there's a guy walking through the smoke. Collins, my God, he's a second away from catching Emor then. He still might just catch him because it's so unlikely that someone's going to be there. He did at least get a chance for a shot, but could not connect it. My God, if Emor would have landed that, it would have been right back on. But now it feels like M-Star has got a lot of work ahead of him. He's got no idea really where anybody is. The bomb is eventually going to... Oh, he comes back for it? Might be able to make it a... Oh, does he hit the drop down? He does, just barely, but he still can't win the fight against Dragon. So, okay, finally, the first round of the second half for Serbia.
Yeah, exactly. It's the first one, maybe of a few, potentially, if they're lucky, but... You know, right back into the investment for Turkey. No issues asked. And I think that one, a couple of nice opening kills. If Emo gets a second here, I think he's given a chance. And then it gets put into a 2 versus 2. You've got one player towards A, one player towards B. It's doable. But he dies. A's open. There's a B lurk. And it's simply put to bed. So nice and easy.
Here we go. Just 4 rounds in a row. It sounds doable when you put it like that. It can be done. You see the money on the Turkish side, coupled with a little bit at the back, but otherwise there's not going to be that much left here. Emo, definitely a shot that he could have hit, but didn't get a chance to this time. But once they run out of money on the CT side, there's Kindo back at it again. Very cool. And just kills landing left and right here. Serbia, why did they wait so long to do this? Why couldn't they do this a little bit earlier in the game so that they had more of a chance? But yeah, this is completely being cleaned up at the moment.
Yeah, it's true. Nice kill from Wakadia, though. I mean, Vladin's low. I'm not even going to give him the conversation about this being a starter here. He'll keep on with his M4. That's basically all he can do. There isn't really too much around him. I mean, Emor's got a bit of money. So has X-Floud. They both technically could buy. If Wakadia can then stay alive, he can maybe drop. But I don't know if you're forcing the next, in all honesty. So yeah, this one is kind of feeling like it's probably going to be a save around the M4, which is then sober to 10. And then we can look at potential of overtime at that point.
Yeah, that's the problem, right? 4 rounds, sure, but they won't all be fully equipped by rounds. Some of them are just going to be way less interesting than that. What a bizarre game it's turned into now. I will say this, I mean, if Ricardi could save the M4, then you really never know what's going to happen, right? It's possible that he can have a significant impact. It's been done before.
Look what we are, though. What is the play? I mean, I already see we have an AWP, we have an M4. Turkey, are we going to go around this? Hexona's money. It's just Jota and M-Star who then would probably have to take... Well, one of them will take maybe a drop from Wakadia, which would be maybe at best an MP9. Is it worth it? No. Is basically what we're going to say here. M4 and AWP. It's not an impossible round to convert, though, especially to close a game. Maybe Serbia might be thinking that money isn't exactly great over there. We might have a chance just to fight this one. Wakadia's getting acted to. Another thing I don't hate, if you've got a rifle, you may as well gamble with it.
I agree. I hate it when people just sit around and hope that someone's going to show up where they are. I like it when people go out and find the action in those moments. Emo is going to take the kill against Kindo. That is a devastating way to start this round. And now Serbia. Do they have the commitment to make some choices here? Because this could be one of those rounds where you end up slowing it down and slow playing it so much that you just don't know what you're doing at the end. 3 in the middle. Collins alone up in the palace on the A side of the map. So yeah, they're going to have this 3-man push in the middle activate first. And standing up there, it's a bit of a flick for Emo. He probably could have taken his time to actually get that kill. Didn't probably need to be that fast. But anyway, it's a lot of damage. And now they know what's coming next here. Nice shot from Dragon. But they're very, very low on that T side. Vladin and Dragon left 2 versus 3. And 40 seconds. M-Star knows. He just has to hit a bullet. Just one would have done it. But now, oh, failed jump. He wants to escape. Oh, it's taken way too long. And it's getting very, very awkward. But at least they've made their way in towards the market and onto the site. So let's see if they can actually clear this and get onto the bomb site itself. What a weird scenario.
I can't believe the pistol doesn't connect to one bullet, or even it looked like he didn't shoot more than anything. Uh-oh. Elbow spotted. A nice shot from Vladin. Really nice shot. Up now. All to do. 1v2. They're both so low. And he will get the first. Opts for the AK. That's the right call. Emor, what have you got for us, son? 1v2 turn 1v1. Both are low. First attack basically wins. Backside. Oh, and his spray is off. I can't believe it. Oh, Serbia win it out. But what a wild end.
How did the pistol not connect? How did the AK not connect at the end? It just seemed like some of those players should have been dead, but it's all in the past now. It'll be a 12-10 scoreline. Serbia really, really just pushing it across the line in that last round. That's crazy that it got that close, but fair enough. Let's see how this one plays through. The money for Turkey, not amazing, but they're trying to buy something in this round. They just need one more round.
Well, yeah, weird game. That one, absolutely, one of those bullets should have been converted. The window player should have been dead. There's kind of no two ways about it. And also kind of something that you spoke about just early in that round. The AWP, when he got the tag, it was kind of a bit of a panicked shot. It felt more than taking your time. He goes for a real aggro flick, which obviously is cool when it connects. But in the instance there where he just got a tag, we're looking at that and saying, okay, if you're taking your time, slow it down, guaranteed that kill, you probably could have fallen away. Maybe there was something on there. So it might have changed well, it probably would have changed the initial outcome in some way, whether it was for better or for worse. I mean, 12-10, Serbia make this a possibility. Buy to come through for Turkey off the back of their tack pause. They've gone back in towards the AWP. There's a FAMAS in play, but it's a full buy. So this is the now or never. It's basically a decision of, are we seeing this off 13-10 and Turkey taking the map in the series, or are we actually going to overtime?
Yeah, it feels like that's kind of what's on the line here for the minute. Let's see. Well, Cardi hasn't really slowed down. He's up to 23 kills. He just needs one good round here. And they can finish what they started, but that drop down, do they hear that on the other? I think they probably do. They have Molotovs. It's possible that that's a dangerous move for Jota to be making. If they can sort of connect the dots and they just Molotov him out of there, he is probably in a lot of trouble. Molotov, ooh, yeah, he's going to be pushed right out. I think they heard the drop. He might have been dead as soon as he made that noise. 4 versus 5. Now they're trying to get onto the side. X-Cloud not able to do anything either. Emo, nice flick, but I'm not sure it's going to make a difference here. 2 versus 3, the bomb being planted. Tough call for the retake right now. M-Star, as the smoke clears, there's just an army waiting on the other side. So, Wakadia, last alive with an AWP, and it's probably better to save it.
Yeah, just keep hold of what you've got. Oh, man. Serbia, been credit to them. It took them a long time to get in towards the second half. Finally, they've got it. And it looks with that sort of a round win, 3-save life for them, no issues, that we will have ourselves into most likely an overtime. It's an AWP. The buy around it is going to be minimal to rough, and actually it's not even an AWP. So don't even save that. Don't even get given the luxury of having the AWP to work with. Now that hurts even more so. And probably even more so guarantees that probability, potential, and all the rest of this going to OT. I mean, let's see what buy we have here. Scout FAMASs. It's feasible. I mean, it'd be funny if that's the round that Turkey, when I say take to win this game, but it's going to be tough.
Yeah, although I mean, on the other hand, like a bit of a classic, wouldn't it, if that's how it goes? I feel like we've seen that before, where you know you've pretty much secured the overtime. All you have to do is get through the one round here, and that's how it blows up. Scout, couple of FAMAS, MP9 being picked up as well. xCloud, what have you got for us? Just the USP for now. Technical timeout being called from Turkey here.
Yeah, hate to see it. Yeah, hate to see it. There was, yeah, it was looking like we had gotten over this hump.
We were past the tech timeouts, but
Yeah.
coming back. Whatever.
They found a way. They found a way. Either way, I guess we can look at the buy, which includes an auto shotgun for xCloud. Where is he going to decide to play with this is what I'm looking at. What's the destination for an auto shotgun here? He's been playing a little bit over towards A. Maybe close ramp, maybe Palace. Both are risky. Or do you actually go for maybe like a bit more of an apartments play or an under into underpass? Yeah, weird one.
Yeah, not really sure what the best move is at the moment here. I feel like at this stage you've had such a great lead, right? You really made it work. It was like 12-7, then I think wasn't it 12-7 at one point, 12-8. And they just haven't been able to close it out. And they got to those 12 rounds with such ease that yeah. It's kind of hard. It's a little bit baffling. We're back into it. Wakardi's got blown up already. Auto shotgun shouldn't be getting this kill. And indeed, it'll be Vladin to set it up. Flashing around the corner. Grenade will get him. So at least a little bit of a chance here. M-Star only getting the one. But still 2 versus 3. It is doable. Emmy gets this one for free against Jota. So just Imo. They know where he's coming from here. And they should be able to just essentially grenade him out forever. They've got more Molotovs. He does push through the first one there, or through the smoke, rather. But there's a 3-way crossfire. One single misstep, and he gets shot in the side of the head instead. And he kind of, now is the flank coming in. It's a great move coming up from Kindo. That's going to be overtime. Serbia took them a while in the second half to get fired up, but they've come alive.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, credit at the end. Better late than never, but also on the other side, Turkey just sort of fell apart. Their economy was a tough one, and unfortunately, they were constantly forced into these slightly weirder buys, and that's just how feeble the CT side can be. 12-all. We're heading towards overtime, and it's still absolutely anybody's game. A tough one to call, but with Serbia, this sort of resurgence that we've seen out of them at the end here, maybe, just maybe, there's something on the cards where you can see the sides start to look pretty good themselves. I mean, at 12-all, and with how things fell apart at the tail end, you have a tendency to... I'm still going to stick with Turkey, but there's a bit of a tendency to maybe start leaning a little bit more in favor of Serbia because they're starting to heat up and get that confidence. It's not a bad start.
No, it's definitely not a bad start here. Wow. xCloud already out of it. Jota gets one in return, so keeps the dream alive. Emo very, very tagged up, and he doesn't want to stick around inside of the connected, such a commonly grenaded position that probably better to walk it away now. Collins is probably going to be the one to decide this round here. I don't think Jota is aware. Yeah, so easy. I like the fact that he did that. Oh, if he'd waited a second, then he would have got killed instead, and it would have been a nightmare. Emo almost with a quick double there, but he does get taken down. And 2 versus 1. So Cardia with the AWP. I don't know, he could sneak away a kill. Oh, he's 1 versus 3, in fact. Sorry, there's still a dragon alive somewhere on the map. 35 seconds. Wakardia, I feel like if he had the AK, I'd back him a lot more. Oh, nicely done. Serbia continuing their win streak into overtime.
Okay. Serbia looking good. Turkey just getting isolated. I think they need to slow things down a bit for Turkey. Just don't... They keep wanting to overfight, which was working at the start of this half when the momentum was in their favor. When they've lost control of momentum like now, I really feel like they've got to slow this down. They've got to try and bait Serbia in towards fights which are a little bit more kind of less preferential. Oh, God. Dragon. through the legs, nutmegged with the bullet, but doesn't get the shot. Ali fighting towards mid again. A double stacking via window where both are just going to fall away.
Jota waiting. Collins on the other side. Battle of patience here. Neither player necessarily knowing what's on the other side there, but sometimes you just have to be patient. M-Star, maybe a little bit less so, he thought about it, kind of wanted to. Wakadi would have gone for it, I guarantee it, but yeah, a little bit more of a measured approach here for the Turkish side. If they lose this round too, it's such a long string of rounds being lost that you got to wonder if mentally they can keep in it.
Ooh, nice. Big fight for Jota. That's a good one to find. And he actually falls away enough in time, which he can try and set himself up. Sort of panicked, but he's actually doing quite well here, Jota. And he's going to get another four here. Just dancing around the ladder. Good for a second. Will he get a third? The answer's no, but Wakadia can trade.
Yeah, he can. Emo's going to go down. 2 versus 2, and good job. M-Star, right position, right time. They're going to be jumping all over Vladen. Oh, and just down to a 1 versus 1 at the end. It's very well played. Turkey, they needed this round so badly, and they do finally pick it up. So I'd say a scary position to be in overall, but yeah, good recovery.
Exactly. 13-13. Who's going to take advantage heading towards the second half? Is what I'm looking at. This could be, again, a bit of a difference maker, but at least they finally found a round. They were struggling, telling the regulation where there was just nothing on offer for them. As well, all of this is with North Macedonia. They're waiting in the wings to play the loser of this matchup. And they've seen how scary actually both of these sides are. So I'm sure waiting, maybe not with excitement or with a little bit of nerves, potentially a bit of tentativeness, because both these sides look really good.
Yeah, no, they do. Making their way towards the middle. It's a very, very classic default setup here coming in from Serbian side. I do like this from M-Star. We talked about it last time. It looked like he wanted to go aggressive with the B hallways. This time, he actually is doing it. So this round is on the timer right now for Serbia, which they're currently beating. If they keep going, it might be interesting. Jota, that's a massive kill. Again, it buys more time for M-Star. The only thing you need to do is stay alive on the bomb site. Fight as little as you can. Don't go too crazy. M-Star's walked up right behind them. They've got no idea. An absolute surprise. Now, we look at the one, but still, it kind of screws up their plans.
Dragon moving back towards Con. He's being held for now. Actually, he's not. Wakadia smoked. So he will be held for in a second. Wakadia just going to jump over towards CT. All of this is for nothing, though. You know, Wakadia is dragging attention, but it's all actually about the sandwich player. Jota, as long as you don't move, he should probably just be the win factor. On the cross. Oh, my God. How? Okay, thankfully he gets it in the end. Doesn't get the second. But time is ticking. The Orb gets a nice shot, in all fairness. One more's back triple. 5 seconds, though. Time is ticking. And it will not make a difference. Credit. Just going to play timer at the end. Turkey win it out. And that is their advantage still. So they're made to work for it. And the tail end of the regulation was rough. But they've got a lead. They've kept it. And now they're heading towards the second half with it in their favor. It's just about, can they back onto the T side, which is, it's been a little minute. Can they make it work for them?
Yeah, that's yeah, you're right. You got to sort of remember what worked and what didn't work once they were on the T side of things. What an absolutely wild game this turned into. 14-13. We're going to continue. First team to 16 here is what we're looking for, and honestly, I have no idea who's going to be at this point. I feel like it's a bit of an open question.
It's such a, yeah, it's so tough, really, where we're at the moment. I'm still going to stick to my guts and say stay Turkey in terms of the name value and the individuals and the rest, but I mean, who knows? It's kind of the position we're in. Pause is done. attack pause to be had as well before heading underway in towards this one. Does feel like a little bit more onus on Serbia as well. You lose this and you then got to be flawless for a couple in a row if you want to take it towards a second OT. Turkey take first T-side round. They're so close then to the map, the series, and continuing through the upper bracket.
Well, let's see how this plays out. Top fragging is still Ricardia with 25 kills, but Vladin, Kindo, Emi, and actually the rest of Serbia. Look at how close they are all in kills. It's between 22 and 19 on that Serbian side. That's a huge team effort at the moment to put this together. That's pretty impressive stuff. 13-4 here as we move into the second half of overtime. Smokes up. Kindo countering the seconds. Always a bit random when you want to do that, but didn't work out for him this time. They don't know about the double AWP though. They hear the AWP in the middle, and they don't expect Dragon to have a second one over in those hallways.
More. Oh, yeah, I'm going to say there was him trying to get space up, but that smoke, it was the bottom con smoke, not top con. So there's always going to be a little bit of a gap above it. One of which he just wasn't really aware of. Emster does get his. Nicely done. Doesn't take that much damage either. So pretty important frag, but then the AWP. Oh, nearly got a second. He nearly adjusted in time. Ems to find one more, put into 2 versus 2, round up beyond, and Exile still being a bit of a nuisance over towards A as well.
See if he can keep it up. Not going to find anyone here in CT spawn. Although he is trying to see if he can get... I mean, he can flank all the way behind. Maybe Kindo will rotate in at the wrong time here without checking. We're down to 40 seconds as well, so they don't have all the time in the world. Bomb... Yeah, real far away on the B side, so he has to run back and pick it up. X-Cloud, though? I don't know. Maybe he can sneak in at the right time. This is scary. He's going to get the kill on Kindo. They've actually found a way to thread the needle here. They're going to get the bomb planted, for sure.
This would be a crazy one to lose if you're Serbia. 2v4 it was, and... Bomb comes down. The Molotov comes down too late. Only takes M-Star for a little bit. He'll drop a smoke. The flash doesn't do as much damage as they want. X-Floud, gets out. Picks up the AWP as well. Oh my god, it's doable. Shot is beautiful as well. Oh my, how have Turkey walked away with that round? A 2v4 converted. Credit to Emster in that one as well. Really nice round from him individually. And on a 15-13 scoreline, 2 rounds the difference, but one more is all that Turkey need. So close to the finish line now.
That's crazy. That's a round they're going to want back here. Turkey, though, they are happy to see it. Again, they are at the series point, which they had plenty of during regulation, but now they're back and to try and see if they can close it out. At least get it in overtime, even if it didn't before. Jota, that's a start. They'll take down Kindo. They can take the bomb site. They don't have the bomb with them yet, so it's been picked up a little bit further behind here. Smoke is up. And now playing around it, Collins here, you've got to be so careful that they don't just drop down. It's Dragon to go down next here. Flashes around the corner, and oh, if he had the AK out, yeah, there's the kill. All right. Wakadia with the double, and I think that's all they needed.
Oh, and there it is. Cena flawless as well at the end to make matters worse. Really well done. It took overtime. It took all the rest, but all that matters is Turkey will see that map over the board. And now, of course, the series, which keeps them alive in the upper bracket. All of the positives we want to see from Turkey. They were the favorites coming towards that game in terms of the name value, but I think Serbia, very impressive. That second map in particular was good. The recovery at the tail end of Mirage was really solid as well. But it's not game over for Serbia, I think, is the main thing, right? They now, of course, they'll be dropping in towards the lower brackets, but they're still alive. They're still in for a potential chance. It's North Macedonia who are waiting there in that lower bracket too. So a game in which I'd probably then top the other way and say, especially with how good that series was, Serbia have got to be the favorites in that one.
Yeah, I would assume so. I think they just overall played really solid Counter-Strike. It's a shame they disappeared for a while in the second half there at Mirage, because again, I mean, the fact that they got into overtime was really sickening, but it could have been way more interesting for them if they could have woken up a bit sooner. But overall, just looked like a really solid team. I don't have any complaints. It was fun to see Kindo I say he played really, really well. Every map we've seen from him so far, he's been good. So that's kind of cool.
Yes, no, agreed. For Turkey, there's a lot of positives to take away from that. Their individuals look good. I do think there's a few things that need to be cleaned up, maybe in terms of just the teamwork at times, especially on that CT side. They can just get isolated a little too often, but all in all, not the worst thing in the world. So, yeah, I mean, honestly, I think for Turkey, good for them. They're now one best of 3 away is from qualifying to the next stage. They will be taking on Team Croatia, who 2-0'd Israel, in all fairness. So maybe a bit of a sleeper team to keep an eye on, that Team Croatia. We haven't got to kind of catch them just yet, but a couple of the names I do know, and they're pretty solid. But I still would have thought, name value-wise, that Israel were maybe a little bit of a better team. So it seems like a cool series, maybe one to go back and watch. For now, though, we're going to first one to break. When we are back, we're jumping over towards the lower bracket. We're going to follow Serbia down there as they take on North Macedonia. We'll see you in a moment.